All right. Oops, wrong one. It is NA and EU Day on Bangers Only. Do you recommend the Korean Bulldog spicy ramen? I haven't had it, but I like Bulldog. Is it good in ramen? I don't know. Maybe I'll make Bulldog on my stream one of these days. Cooking stream on Thursday, guys. Speaking of cooking streams, here's my pita sandwich. You guys can look at it in its glory. I made some white sauce to put in it. Can't really see it. Oh, there it is, focused. All right. Tomatoes, chicken shawarma, sriracha, onions, tomatoes, cucumber, white sauce. It's delicious. It's going to be a mess. I also put hummus on the inside of the pita for good measure. I think we're going to make some carnitas. I think we're going to make some carnitas and make some tacos and burritos and kimchi quesadillas on Thursday. That's what I think we're going to do. Maybe we'll make some salsa. It'll be very exciting for you. What time PST on Thursday? 5:30 Pacific. All right. Is it super easy to get Mexican stuff in Korea? No, I make it myself. But it's easier than it used to be. Tell you that much. Here, we can all look at how bad the Acolyte is. This scene was hilarious. Meditating here for 10 years. And whatever genius wrote this show decided that what would be really exciting is a hand-to-hand fight sequence against a man floating there in an invisible bubble that stops you from doing anything.
I'm going to really pretend that I'm hitting a force field now. And like, sure, you can act that well, but it always looks silly. That's never going to look good.
But instead, no, we have to start doing jump spin kicks.
I gotta flip off the wall and see if I can kick him in the head.
Which is it is funny, but it's not intended to be funny. Like that actually is. That feels like a Star Wars satire scene in terms of the action. So we have that problem, which is that again, it's an extended sequence that is both boring, meaningless, and not fun to watch, right? It's just not entertaining. It's not entertaining at all. It's just hilarious and stupid. Shout out to the Acolyte being incredibly terrible. Will I post ingredients so we can follow along? Yes.
Hell yes, that's what we like to hear.
NRG has been giga bad, guys, and FlyQuest hasn't been too great either, but our boy Bucio's looking better.
Thank you, Mark Zimmerman. We're going straight into the games. I also he was actually
all right, we're banning Kindred. I love how we're banning Kindred when it's not even like a Kindred meta. NA never change. Cassiopeia, because Quad is a Cassiopeia one trick historically, but we really think, guys, that the dangers here. We really think that the dangers here are Kindred, Brand, and Cassiopeia. Is Skarner good? Nah. They banned Nautilus, so Bucio couldn't take him. Thank God.
Different things. He mentioned how
FlyQuest just banned him, so Bucio can't have him.
They say that because Skarner is insane right now.
So we have to take the Karthus away from Inspire. Inspire can just play Zyra, though. So Tristana up, Corki up, nobody cares. Yep, Trist, yep. That's exactly what we picked. Trist Leona, very good. So we have to take Ornn here because otherwise we get him banned in the second rotation of bans. We're going to take out the Ezreal. Remember, this is the Ezreal buff patch. They take out Corki, so what are we going to play in the mid lane now? Ooh, Cassante Skarner, the best matchup. You love to see it. So Ziggs has been played a lot, particularly in LPL with the Leona lane. So that's not too surprising there. It also makes it so you don't actually have to go into an AP jungler here because you have plenty of AP damage. But they're going to do it anyway for funsies because Zyra's still up.
All right, Pala Faker, what's he got? The genius midfielder.
The LCS analyst desk mysteriously disappears when VCT is on it. I see it right here. Isn't it right here?
On the last counter pick, I mean, you can't really get too crazy because you're already versus Tristana, and there's not like a
Zyra Jungle, where the hell have I been? Oh, my friend, go watch some Canyon games. He is a boss on Zyra Jungle.
I really do think that Cassiopeia, more people should.
So we're just going to play Yone into Tristana and lose in the mid lane. This doesn't even feel like a Palafox champion, guys. Like, does this feel like a draft that's good for them? Palafox and contracts on Yone and Karthus? This is so out of style for NRG, and yet they are going into it. They didn't even deny anything meaningful. Like, why the fuck are we banning Brand Kindred if we're just going to leave the Zyra up? What did this accomplish? What did this ban phase accomplish for NRG?
Yeah, I mean, the Yone is a really strong pick into Tristana, especially when it's paired with the Karthus. It's going to lose lane a little bit, and if, like, Palafox can do a good job of, like, not losing a lot early game, then when he gets inside lane and he has the Karthus ult in his back pocket, it's really hard for Tristana to do anything.
Plus, if he joins one of the team fights, you start things off with the Ornhorn, follow it up with a Fate Seal. There is some big wombo combo engage potential here.
Yeah, but the counter engage is super good. You have Hextech Minefield, you have ults, you have ult from Tristana, you have ult from Zyra, you have E from Skarner.
So let me just go ahead and ask you guys now, we've got all 10 champions locked in. Licorice, I'll start with you. Which comp, if you're playing this one, would you prefer to be playing as? Would you rather be the Skarner or the Cassante here?
Man.
You'd rather be FlyQuest. Look how many fucking OP champions they got. You have so much pressure. Like, here's the thing. If we're playing AP farming junglers, mid pressure is huge. Because it will dictate who can farm faster. And so having the Trist into Yone is such a huge advantage. You also have perma-pressure. Like, this is fast push towers. Like, this Karthus should not be able to farm. Right? You should be putting so much pressure on turrets and invading and getting deep vision down that this should not be a thing. Karthus should never do anything.
It's a really hard question. I like the Skarner better, but I like the rest of NRG's draft better. So
what?
I feel really torn.
Licorice, what?
Their goal, right? Give over the Skarner, so then you can start
Karthus can't farm.
Range, better rest of a style comp here for NRG.
Am I going in blind? Yeah, I haven't seen these games.
I've seen a lot of teams try and pull this like Genji style.
It's NA, by the way. Spoiler, guys. It's NA, and it's NA, so he will be able to farm, but he shouldn't be able to farm.
We even saw a lot of it already in the LCS too. A couple of teams trying to do this style. I still think the draft itself is amazing.
Avalon Blue, Yone can't ever go in with Ziggs, Leona, Zyra. Exactly. They can't go in. They can't engage onto this composition.
Demolition shot towers with Tristana just exploding, and then
especially with the early grubs coming in. Like, if you get anywhere near 6 grubs on this FlyQuest team, then towers just they just blow up when you look at them. Like, it's really that simple.
Getting into this,
it's perma pressure.
I feel like we probably couldn't have asked for too
Zyra Jungle
on either side.
Look at these plebs. Oh my god. Look at these fucking Twitch chat plebs. Look at them. They've never seen a Zyra Jungle. Watch good regions, you plebs. Pathetic.
Karthus and Zyra are both going to be farming at the speed of light, and we'll see which one of them can manage to find.
Imagine not watching Canyon and being like, yeah, I want to watch contracts instead.
Does have that hard lockdown. When you look at the lanes themselves, Busio also having a lot of setup if they want to try to make a play down there in the bottom lane. But the same can be said when you're looking at an Ornn and a Senna on the other side. Obviously, both top laners have a lot of potential to incredibly powerfully punish any sort of a wave push. These guys are not going to allow you to get close to the turret.
Yep. Yeah, no, totally. And I don't know. I'm just really excited to see how this game plays out. I think it's really exciting to see that NRG is just like kind of going for it in draft is what it feels like to me, where they're letting through the Skarner and they're just trying to like get the power picks and like play the game their way.
What power picks did they get for Skarner? Tell me.
Congrats to FBI on 300 games.
They gave up Skarner and Tristana in the same draft.
300th game, a W here, because NRG
Hey, look at that.
mentioned,
Palafox losing lane already. Very cool.
About this team and about it being like NRG summer once again. Even though they had a pretty rough opening to this 2024 summer, if you remember back to last summer, which is kind of the origins and what they want to channel, you know, the success story of how they got to Worlds and then found success at Worlds. They also did have a slow start in that summer.
How good is Quad? Wasn't very good in his opener.
to be able to use for NRG. Slow start in summer into qualify for Worlds combo.
3-lane view right now. Whippo with control over that top side was able to trade the third hit of the Q into Dokla. That is the one that just does the absolutely massive health ratio damage to the enemy. Very difficult to trade back into that one, even for a champ that's as powerful as Cassante is. Whippo's got that control maintained, that priority here over the top lane. You can see, though, Contracts is on the top half of the map, clearing bot to top, while the opposite can be said of Inspired and that jungle Zyra. As Quad just trying to get away from Palafox as he uses the Soul Unbound for those snappy trades. And Whippo can use the Eastall's impact to get into a safer spot, go for his recall, go for his first buy, and Huhi and FBI forced back underneath that turret. Huhi down to 300 HP here already. Going to use the Ornn passive to give himself a little bit of extra firepower down here, pick up a Ruby Crystal. These guys are just waiting for the wave to crash. Problem is...
All right, so full clear, but Inspired's here because he's Zyra.
A whole lot of value out of him here at the start.
Okay, quick back for Karthus, but he buys boots and an Amtone. He doesn't have he backs before he has money for Faded Ashes.
All right, let's see it. Busio's going to lead the way. Shield of Daybreak to immediately start it off.
Hey guys, how's this game going for this really strong energy composition? Are they getting dove at level 4? Because Karthus just went back. He's going to be here soon, right?
Busio's going to lead the way. Shield of Daybreak to immediately start it off. First blood already.
Nicely done, actually.
They're going to force his bot dive and probably try to trade 1 for 1, if not 1 for 0.
Nicely done. I mean, he walks up, Qs, right, onto FBI, forces cleanse. But they're all just tangled up back there, and Busio is just able to flash out for free.
Nothing. Beautifully done from the FlyQuest bottom side and jungle combo.
Yeah, that was super
Very
clean.
good.
Immediately getting
Surely
the first
Karthus is
kill.
going to be able to farm a lot now.
Flash out afterwards, too.
You know, nothing.
Both of them stop the
It's going to be really powerful for his clear to get Boots Amtome instead of Faded Ashes like we're going to see this Zyra get right now.
Contracts at least delays it a little bit, but Zyra's just going to recall and then clear from top to bottom again.
Yeah, you know, if I get a double kill on the enemy bottom lane while they're stuck under turret with their minions dying there, I'm fine with losing my recall tempo. I think that's a fair trade. I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a while where people talked about like...
Oh, he actually just gets Sork Shoes straight up. Wow.
And then you get the extra laner, and that's your
3-minute gank on Zyra. Who could have seen that coming? I know, right?
This time he got 8 camps on his first clear. Which
I mean, the answer is Deft also versus Canyon. Deft could not see it coming, but KT sucks. Why is Palafox pushing the lane? Well, they know Zyra's recalling, so actually right now Palafox might be able to get recall timing. They know Zyra just recalled because they saw him when their bot lane returned. They saw him recalling.
All the top lane Skarners generally go for right now. Licorice, I know you and I were talking backstage before the series about the differences in building the Fimbulwinter entirely.
But he has to get his recall off, like, now.
Tell chat your thoughts on just general Skarner lane itemization.
I mean, I personally don't like it. I know Whippo is someone who went for it his last Skarner game, so I do expect him to just be rushing the completed tier item, the Fimbulwinter, this game. I find that having just, like, more stats in armor or MR, like this game it would be armor, is just more effective, but I know it's something a lot of players go for, and it does have a really high win rate, so yeah, we'll just see how it goes this game.
Yeah, and it's so easy for Skarner to proc it, and the extra mana definitely helping.
Oh boy, is it Raccoon Knight? Oh boy, is it ever.
With them getting the early
I mean, G2 Fnatic, we're hoping isn't.
I think it greatly accelerates how this team wants to play with them having so much turret destruction power. I mean, getting an early lead and then having Inspired just full clear and end up on the bottom side to reassert their pressure and go for the little bit of an invade and deep wards here with Busio to support him is right on track with the flag clip.
Yeah, that throwing that Skarner Q is very annoying to stop recalls under the turret.
NRG's scared of getting dove, so Karthus is coming down.
Underrated part of his new kit.
They're going to push out the wave. They're going to go to grubs and start stacking those 6 grubs for the Ziggs Tristana later in the game.
Ooh, flash out from Palafox here in mid lane, immediately losing that summoner spell after he had also just used his teleport to return to lane after doing his first purchase. So FlyQuest making sure that he's not feeling great about his current state.
Yeah, one of the biggest things about getting your bot lane ahead that's great, you unlock
And instead, they're just going to push out the wave. They're going to go to grubs and start stacking.
I like how he has to flash out because Busio's just here fucking him up with Hex. He didn't have to flash, by the way.
Getting dove, so Karthus is coming down. And instead, they're just going to push
He didn't
out
have
the
to
wave,
flash.
Go to grubs and start stacking those 6 grubs for the Ziggs Tristana later in the game.
Ooh, flash out from
He didn't have to flash there, I don't think.
Immediately losing that summoner spell after he had also just used his.
How do you decide which games to watch? Well, I have to pick like the most consequential games of every week, so I'm informed for my podcast. You guys know what I mean?
Great. You unlock your support to get free time to roam as well, and then your support like ganks for you like a little Pokemon.
You guys love the games I pick anyway, except for the LPL. You guys, here's the truth, guys. You don't actually want to watch bangers because my viewership is 50% when I do LPL.
They're very happy to trade this dragon for grubs. Inspired was
You guys are just raccoons who want the garbage.
To go topside, grab that. So the turret destruction becomes turret evaporation.
First Drake is also just a Chemtech Drake, not generally going to be considered one of those super high priority ones. So FlyQuest loving the way things are going here. 1,700 gold lead 7 minutes into the game is a pretty nasty situation for NRG to find themselves in. You can see some very slight farm.
It's fun watching you watch City League. I know, you guys like me molding.
Here, not even a full wave anywhere in particular, so it's not like they're incredibly worried about it. But it is.
Do we say molding anymore? Probably not.
Fine here in the state of the lanes. As Palafox tries to get a little bit of value here out of the Soul Unbound as he gets the wave to crash into the turret of Quad. Contracts trying to make sure that he doesn't get caught here, but he might be in some trouble. Has to flash away. The Ignite is on him, but
Contract's having a really easy time farming. He's definitely not falling behind on farm as a Karthus.
the Wolves are going to finish what Ignite started.
He respects the wolves.
He does.
He heals off the wolves. He gets the little one, and he's going to go back for the big one.
Now Inspired, they know where he is and they know he's 1 HP, so they're able just to start the counter jungling process.
Also get chunked on the way in here.
Oh, meanwhile, Palafox versus Quad back in mid. That 1v1's not going the way of FlyQuest.
That's not going to kill Quad.
The Requiem sounds off, and it's going to be who?
Well, I guess the ult will.
Quad 6 feet deep in the river.
We already finally here get
The way of Fly.
In the top side, taking away his camps. This is going to feel really bad once he walks in there and finds out. He'll probably also get chunked on the
Quad decides to just get hit by the ults. And he's like, yeah, now's the time to flash after I got hit by the Yone ult. Jesus Christ.
Putting Quad 6 feet deep in the river.
We already finally here get to see some of the power of the ultimates in the super long range.
Yep, just get hit by the Yone ult and then flash after. Yep, yep.
The train there, the combo coming from
Quad, very good player.
Contracts with both ults being able to kill these carries, and that was the whole goal. Remember, with the construction of this team composition.
Yeah, I mean, this is the power of their team comp in action. Although if I'm Contracts here, I'm going to be a little upset because I didn't even get an assist on that one.
Just wasting
no, wait, it didn't even touch a time?
Yeah, it didn't get there.
Inspired's just face checking a brush.
I'm Contracts here. I'm going to be a little
What is
upset
Inspired
because I
doing?
didn't get an assist on that one.
They literally have no vision. They have no bot lane on the map, and they're like, hey, is a Karthus going to be counter jungling? And then he flashes for no reason after he's been hit by Root. God, this game sucks.
Yeah, I mean, that always really hurts because if you're running Dark Harvest too, so...
Yeah, no, you really want the ultimate stacks and the Dark Harvest stacks. But honestly, this game is not looking too bad for NRG here. I know like their bot lane is behind.
Licorice, please. Why are you such an energy apologist?
And
They're fucking losing everywhere.
He's doing really well in this lane, and it's only.
They're literally losing every lane.
Palafox with his double buffs as well. Yone can be such a difficult.
What is this wild ass narrative?
And that's just going to make it even more of a problem. As you can see, NRG, they've once again got contracts down here on the bottom side of the map. Busio on that Leona, level 6. Still doesn't have the cooldown back up for the Solar Flare, but once it's available, I expect to see FlyQuest be looking to make more plays around this. I said how much I like the fact that they went for this pick during the draft, and I'm liking the way that they've used it here so far. He has 100% kill participation.
Yeah, no, I think the next thing that's going to be like really interesting to see is the grubs are coming up in a minute, and there's a lot of pressure on NRG because giving 6 grubs to this team comp is really hard. But I don't know if the Ziggs and Leona are there, it's going to be really, really hard for them to fight. So this might be where the game either breaks open or
The Ziggs doesn't have to be there. He doesn't have TP, but
Yeah, Contract still is not going to have flash from...
it's just plate time. Because the thing here, guys, is that the question you're having to deal with is, do we let them, get 6 grubs, right? Do we let them get 6 grubs? But if we don't, we have to move our Senna and our Ornn up here, which allows plates to be taken by Ziggs and probably Tristana, which I would think would be more valuable. Like, in a way, I think Fly should just let NRG or force them to move up to grubs and then just be happy taking plates with Tristan Ziggs. So that's what's going to happen. Because he doesn't have TP.
I mean, if you're NRG, you definitely, if you can, you want to contest these grubs. So I think I'm expecting them to at least poke around and see what they can do. But Busio's already found a really nice flank angle in the enemy jungle.
Nah, you just harass him here, and then you just pressure on the bot turret. I'd play for plates, in my opinion.
Item of the game in the Hollow Radiance that just got purchased for his Ornn could be a difference maker here if this fight turns into something truly chaotic. Inspired and Busio just going to hang out behind Bwipo here as he tries to get this wave shoved up. The Skarner and Cassante both level 9, both having the flash, both having the ulti. Dokla doesn't have a lot of mana to work with, but it really doesn't matter once he goes all out.
I just give these grubs up. It's fine. You actually just got what you wanted anyway, which is just a bunch of more free gold.
For bottom lane for Masu to just go for tower. So they decided to pay.
They got 2 plates bot.
Turret plates here and see how many turret plates they can get.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get the whole tower here. His W is going to be online in a second, so that's a full bot tower for grabs.
That's huge, actually. That's such a good trade.
I'd be happy with on either side of this team.
Ooh, maybe not. Teleport from Huhi. Okay, the turret will fall.
He has no nice dodge.
There's not really anything in the tank for Masu. The out of mana Ziggs isn't a whole lot of a threat. And get clapped around a little bit here. The Requiem summoned up and
that's fine.
He's getting his
that's a good trade. You got his TP too.
No, I'm sure if Huhi took that one, he would have been really upset. So Huhi looked like he was being really careful there with the spells and the autos.
Do you think NRG needs to give up on his core players? I think this is meta. I mean, look, they're bad, but also the meta is really bad for them. So, look, guys, some teams, KT is looking terrible too. Like BDD is a good mid laner, but having him in a ranged AD plus Yone meta is garbage for BDD.
To defend a dragon with their tower gone,
you know,
so maybe FlyQuest, as they try and take over the jungle, can get a
like AP carry jungle plus AD mid meta is going to be rough on certain teams.
Heading right back down mid lane, so the choice is theirs.
I like the decision there from Masu. He knows he's not going to be able to hit the Yone because he's so fast and so unbalanced, so just immediately blast the wave and force him to recall back to his corporeal form anyway.
What's a good meta for NRG? Like control mages, the stuff that Palafox actually plays, more standard junglers. Viego for contracts, right?
Old Skarner doesn't really get to stop people's recalls or do anything other than pull. New Skarner could throw a rock at you, he could use his W. There's so many ways that you can just...
It's affecting T1 as well. Yeah, I mean, T1 has other problems. Their early game still looks really good. They just throw a lot.
The 3v1 underneath the turret. Bwipo does not have a lot of mana to work with.
To be clear, you don't have to play, and at least, like, I don't think Faker's like a good Trist, but he is a good Corki player. So he has options, right?
In exchange for the dragon that they're giving up here, and you know, Skarner just took an auto, took no damage, and is now TPing back.
So we got our answer to the question that we were asking earlier, which is how is Bwipo going to play this in terms of the itemization? And it looks like it's just the early
T1 should have lost to Kwangdong. No, T1 should have won 2-0 versus Kwangdong. They threw game 1. They almost threw game 2, but they should have won both of the first 2 games.
But it's still going to be
they had a very big lead game 1. They just threw it.
Continue to trade into this Cassante, who does have his Iceborne Gauntlet now completed too.
Yeah, no, I'm
T1's early game still looks very clean.
It just gives him a lot more early power, where like when you finish the tier item and it's not even fully stacked and you don't have the passive, it just feels like you have this really weak period of the game where even though you're playing this like really strong S tier, S stands for Skarner champion.
Yes, I like that. I like that.
That you're not actually that strong when your tier item isn't finished. So really like this build, and it looks like FlyQuest might be looking for a pick on Palafox bot lane.
Yeah, Palafox really wanting to shove this wave all the way up. Quad's going to show here first. Palafox is level 11, Quad only level 10. Oh,
what?
Fate Sealed is not going to get him over the wall because Quad jumps in the way to cut to shove this wave.
It's actually nicely played by Quad.
Show here first. Palafox is level 11, Quad only...
It's like you are not getting out of this, right? He actually stops him from going over the wall, so Busio can get that. It's actually well played. What do I think of Liquor's casting so far? I think it's incredibly wacky. Like, the fact that he thinks NRG's comp is good here is, like, mind-boggling to me. They, like, lose every lane, lose all pressure. Rift Herald sucks to get because you have to understand what you're trading for Rift Herald. If they're just getting towers, then like Rift Herald is maybe a tower, but how do you ever get pressure? Okay, they lose mid now because they went for Herald, so now they have to get a tower for Herald. Okay.
Demolitionists are doing their job.
Now how does Karthus farm? They get deep wards in. How does Karthus farm? Tell me.
On the same team, the turrets are just absolute paper. Nice for FlyQuest getting themselves up to a 2,000 gold lead now. And the early neutral objectives, I feel like in a lot of games of League of Legends, you see one side prioritize one side prioritizes the other. This time around, it is the perfect handshake. One Drake for one Drake, 3 grubs for 3 grubs. No real discernible advantages to be found there. FlyQuest with the +1 on the kills.
They have total. What do you mean, no discernible advantages? FlyQuest has total map control now.
It is just exactly those 2 turrets, right?
Yeah. And I do actually really like how FlyQuest is playing this game out. Like, it feels like their answer to the Karthus Senna side lane pressure is that they have Ziggs, and he just wave clears.
What Karthus Senna side lane pressure? What? That's never a sentence that's ever been uttered.
Alone, and then the rest of the team just plays around the side laner. So it's like, yeah, you have Karthus and Senna ult coming in, but Leona's
What is it? Oh, if you ult them, that's not going to be enough.
Impact to bring Dokla a little bit closer to his side of the rift. As Quad shows up here with a TP, Dokla's ready to stand and fight. He goes all out. The Skarner ult, he's not going to work because Dokla went unstoppable. Contracts ends up taking the kill, and Dokla's still fighting. Whippo needs a little bit more. Dokla tries to get away.
Oh my god, he missed his Q.
Whippo tries to
Sorry, you got it.
He needs a little bit more damage. He finds the slow here with a W1. More rock will get it done, and there it is. Whippo makes it a 1-for-1.
Yeah, I mean, a really good play from Dokla to call for the ult and to turn that. Oh. Little jump scare there.
I didn't know he still had that.
We've always got our little pocket flowers ready to go for any Skarner play.
Kill them.
Rooftale gets its second charge.
How are they split pushing?
Down here in bottom lane as NRG tries to continue pushing, make up some of this gold difference. Same time,
The thing is that they can't actually stop the jungle pressure unless they take down mid turret. And Skarner equalizes on the other side. So I mean, this Herald's value is basically nothing.
For FlyQuest here to try and help with so much of this, long range damage from NRG, with Karthus and Senna and even Ornn's super long range on the ultimate becoming so popular. Like, Locket really does go a pretty long way in especially dealing with the Karthus ult.
Well, talking about items that are going to go a long way, worth pointing out that tier is now fully stacked on Whippo, so the Fimbulwinter completed. This thing is going to provide
Gonna balance out eating this trash by eating some salad.
The of that shield is going to give him a lot of extra durability. For a champion that's already difficult to burst down, things just went from difficult to even more difficult for NRG in any of these fights that Whippo is able to be a part of. And you can see both of our top laners and one additional player on each side. There's so many teleports in this game, I had to take an extra second to track them. Palafox, Masu, and both top laners having those ultis ready to go. Whippo goes in for the flash, locks him up, beats him down. Impact ready to go back in.
Well,
Tried to say Ishtal's Impact. I said Impact instead. He's not in this game. Sorry about that.
by the way, I like also how we're pretending that Senna and Karthus ults are the only ults that can reach side lanes when Ziggs is in this fucking game. And Ziggs is really fed now. He has Blackfire Torch and Horizon Focus. What's my salad dressing of choice? This is a balsamic vinaigrette that I made. I just make my own salad dressing, so it doesn't have a bunch of garbage in it.
This is a FlyQuest bot side river control situation.
Yeah, Whippo still pushing up there.
Olive oil only, not
Wins all over the place here.
cheap-ass garbage oils.
Whippo takes half of the tower by himself and cruises on out through the mountains there. Looks like we got a little bit of a check, though. NRG teleporting in.
All right. NRG's not willing to let this one go. Ornhorn flies out. Not really going to find a whole lot. Inspire gets knocked up, but there's nobody there to follow it up with anything else.
NRG in bot lane.
They got the 4-man play. Yeah, Palafox is coming.
I have my pita with chicken shawarma in it.
Here for NRG, they will successfully push FlyQuest away from this third Drake of the game, but the trade at the same time is the tier 2 turret up in the top lane.
Yeah, what do you
Body
think
armor
about
is the best
all these
energy drink. No,
low
black
teleports
coffee is the best
go
energy drink.
Dragon number 2 here and give up that secondary tower, because those things, it's 800 gold for your team.
It's a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm personally.
Is he
not
being
a fan of
pretentious
being
about salad dressing? I'm being healthy about
really
salad
strong
dressing.
right now in the game, and I think like if I'm him, I'm just saying like anywhere I am, I'm unkillable, and just we win every.
When you
fight.
buy bottled salad dressing, they put a bunch of inferior ingredients into it that are not good for you.
Quad jumping back away. The Requiem, they wanted to hit him with a Dawning Shadow there. I think if Dawning Shadow...
Unfortunately, there aren't many places that make good chicken shawarma. Well, I made this myself, so you could do that too.
If that would have connected, I think he still could have been zeroed out there. So Whippo shows up at least to try to protect him. Contracts level 12 here on the Karthus. The same situation as Inspired Zyra. You can see the EXP bars actually at the exact same spot too. I was talking about the high tempo jungle.
Yes, canola oil is so common in salad dressing. Yeah, because it's cheaper than olive oil. But it's a lot worse for you.
Dokla jumping in, stunning Whippo up underneath this turret a little bit, making him soak so much damage from the turret shots. Both these guys pretty low, but Dokla's comfortable underneath his own tower.
But yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier about the tier 2 tower, I think like if it was third dragon, like you're threatening Soul, or if it's Soul, obviously, then I think it's a good trade, but it's just investing a lot of resources, and the other, like, FlyQuest...
Yeah, dude, taking tier 2 is so good. Taking tier 2 is huge. I really like the choices FlyQuest is making in this game, because they realize that this is just about consistent pressure. And now Skarner has solo tier 2 local gold.
Like the HP would have been pretty close, but if that would have connected, I think he still could have been zeroed out there. So Whippo shows up at least to try to protect him. Contracts level 12 here on the Karthus. The same situation as Inspired Zyra. You can see the EXP bars actually at the exact same spot too. I was talking about the high tempo jungling from both of these picks, and it seems that that's what we're getting here. 19.5 minutes into the game, only 30 seconds until Baron's live on the map. Dokla jumping in, stunning Whippo up underneath this turret a little bit, making him soak so much damage from the turret shots. Both these guys pretty low.
Cooked up some Texas brisket today.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier about the tier 2 tower, I think like...
Did you smoke it?
Third dragon, like you're threatening Soul, or if it's Soul, obviously.
I love smoking
Then
brisket.
I think it's a good trade, but it's just investing a lot of resources, and the other, like, FlyQuest is going to come up tempo. They did end up getting Whippo's TP right after, which is going to make the game feel a lot better with that, with the play bot lane from Dokla. But I think still not...
NRG's barely touched that mid tower. Ziggs just sits mid the whole game. Of course he does. That's what Ziggs does. He sits mid and wave clears and throws bombs into the side lane, and whenever you leave him alone, he pushes and takes a tier 2.
Very hefty cost. But we also saw the Ziggs and Skarner combo. We didn't talk about that one a lot.
Make some lamb shakes in the stream. Maybe I will grill up some lamb in the stream. Not this week, but we can do some lamb. I actually can make a very banger lamb bolognese, but I don't know where I would get ground lamb here. That's part of the problem.
Falls on top of you, but when you Skarner ult and just drag him into the middle, then there's not much you can do about it. So
Maybe I can order some online.
And liking the Ziggs pick a lot more as the game goes on.
Yeah,
Wow, Licorice is slowly figuring out that the Ziggs pick is really good with the Tristana.
Dunk there.
Any LPL team could have told you that.
Masu for the easy one. We'll take another look though too, because they have an easy time pushing.
I like Licorice, guys. I just think his read on this game is wacky.
Already was able to push out and then move up through the jungle. So I like this collapse from FlyQuest. They send all their resources now towards Baron. They even invested an ult for an attempt at a pick.
Yeah, that ulti was a little...
But see, this is the thing, is that they just continue to get deep vision in. They can continue to slow down Karthus. All right.
You missed some of the ones you do as well. So that's not really what they wanted. NRG's going to be happy with it, though.
Why did he flash?
From the Karthus to escape.
Why did he flash? He wasn't going to get killed by that bomb.
NRG have lost control over their own topside jungle.
There are some Turkish and Arab halal and kebab places in Korea. Yeah, there's some near me. There's I went to this place that's owned by a Jordanian guy.
So I guess the question I have for you guys is, what's the play if you're NRG?
Maybe I'll ask him.
Gold at 21 minutes is a pretty serious problem.
Yeah, I mean, they really just have to try to find some kind of pick.
No, it doesn't kill. That bomb doesn't kill.
Play from Dokla or Palafox, where they find an angle on quad or Whippo, or they just start the Baron.
Or we force Baron.
Maybe it does if he has Leandries too, but no.
My question themselves, they're saying it's going to be a Baron fight, and that's the name of the game. Who he's summoning up the Ornhorn, shoots it back, but he ain't going to find much. Inspired with the flash away from the Fate Seal, giving himself.
So now we're just doing this because we see. Do we even see Skarner? No, we don't even see Skarner. We see Skarner at. They put pressure up. They realize they have TP advantage, but they're trying to play. Let me be clear. They are trying to take a Baron into a Zyra Ziggs Tristana standing around in a pit. But I think they're getting desperate because they know they're just losing this game. And Contracts has no flash, so he actually can't position properly. So if Contracts gets Tristana ulted, he will just die and do nothing. Okay, so we got one person. We just got Masu with an Ornn ult. Palafox ults and does nothing because Inspire knows how to flash. And so now they have basically, guys, at this point in time, NRG has no turn anymore. They have no turn. How do you turn? You don't have Karthus flash. You don't have this. You don't have this. So they actually can't turn. They're just stuck in the pit while Skarner walks up and they get poked by Tristana and everybody's damaged forever. Thanks for the leash. There's your shitty Karthus ult that does nothing. How do you engage this? How do you engage this if you're NRG? How do you do it? What's Dokla doing? Dokla can't ult now because he'll die instantly. Who he tries to get it with a desperation smite. He uses spell book, but doesn't get it. NRG sucks so hard, guys.
I hate to say it, but this summer, 2024, are we seeing the creation of a new meme, a new energy Baron meme? Because they have been rough. We're gonna still see.
That was a fucking horrible Baron.
Ooh, he goes all out between two turrets. That is not the ideal landing spot for Cassandra.
That was a horrible Baron. Blitbo managed to walk from bot to top side while they just got poked in the pit.
No, that looked really cool. Like,
He pinpointed that sucker.
Like it would be hard to do that on purpose. You know?
Suppressed by Skarner. Suppression does stop smite. Yes. Yes. Yeah. The only thing that stops... he wasn't suppressed, though. Oh, he was. Yeah, yeah. Who he got? He went unstoppable, though, actually. He went unstoppable during the Skarner ult. But suppression is the only thing that stops smite. He was stunned. He's unstoppable. He's not stunned. He actually plays this well because he goes unstoppable when Skarner is ulting.
Who he wants to try to steal it away, but it ain't gonna work because Inspired has secured the Baron for FlyQuest. The Baron Gambit from NRG. It was risky, and the risk gets punished.
I hate to say it, but this summer, 2024, are we seeing the creation of a new meme, a new energy Baron meme? Because
his smite is 600, though. I don't think that's the way it works with Spellbook, guys. I think it's level dependent with smite, right? Smite's damage is 900. After swapping spells once, it's 900, and then if you swap twice, it goes to 1200. So, yeah. So it would have been 1200. That's how it works.
Not the ideal landing spot for Cassante.
That was right in between both, so you get both turret shots the whole time, dude. 4 turret shots
in like 2 seconds. Yeah.
No, that looked really cool. Like,
actually, he pinpointed that sucker.
Like it would be hard to do that on purpose, you know?
I actually think he played that pretty well, but
honestly, though, one of the
he couldn't get it.
Thinking, as you were talking about
it was like a 50-50.
Contracts had almost no mana. The Karthus had like 70 mana when they started it, and so if you watch the replay, you'll see him use like 2 more Qs on the Baron, and then he's actually out of mana when the enemy team comes, and so he just kind of goes up to the front to die there, and they lose out another one. But
Nelka person, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub.
so far this summer for NRG. In the first series that they had, obviously they were deciding whether to turn or burn, and then this one was also kind of in a very high pressure situation where it did not look that great.
And now with the Baron being taken, they've lost total control of the Rift, so that earlier play that they made on the Drake just doesn't pay out at all. Here's another look at what went down in the fight. Meanwhile, back in live, we got another fight breaking out as the Fate sealed into the Ornhorn onto Inspired, strangle Thorns on himself to try to stay alive through the dive. Palafox gets back away.
Well, they killed Inspired, I guess.
What they were looking for. Whippo's ready to come.
Not sure it does anything.
Goes after Dokla, but he ain't gonna find much. Mega Inferno Bomb half kills FBI with just the damage.
Huge ult from Whippo. Look, I think FlyQuest played this game very well, but it is appalling. Like I just don't understand like why Licorice thought that the comp from NRG was better.
He's just here to protect.
Lots of us on YouTube all the time. Got support how I can. Thank you then for your Bezos Bucks Nelka person. I appreciate it.
Now he's going to be able to use his own teleport to rejoin the team. Remember that Masu on this Zig still has the satchel charge for pushing towards these Nexus turrets. It's still another 10 seconds before anybody else on Energy respawns. FlyQuest keeping the push alive. As soon as this wave arrives to the turrets, that's when I expect to see the Whippo TP. And yup, there it is. There's your first Nexus turret already gone. More on to the second. There's the satchel charge taking it out. Now FlyQuest trying to get themselves back away. Whippo here on the front line might get caught out a little bit, but the Skarner is so damn tanky. Two-man solar flare as Palafox tries to find some damage, but it ain't gonna work. Quad has already gone on a killing spree, and FBI just got knocked out. Masu going unstoppable.
Definitely very good comp for NRG. Not comprehensively destroyed by draft.
Will not kill anybody in the back line. Palafox with a soul unbound doing everything he can, but it just ain't enough. Another.
That's the end of that one.
Next weekend and starting 0-3 is like basically like you're down 3 dragons.
Yeah.
Trist is the best solo queue champ to carry with. Trist might be the best pro champ to carry with. All right, here we go again. Are we going to ban this garbage that doesn't matter? Now we're going to ban Ziggs. We figured it out. That might actually be ban worthy.
That has been banned pretty heavily.
Ash is up. Ash is up. Ash alert.
First pick for NRG because
So they're going to take Trist again. They're going to take Corki. So we're still going to just opt into AP jungles. Take an AP jungle here. I think FlyQuest should take an AP jungle and then ban AP jungles now that they've seen Ash Corki. Can anyone explain why Cass is being banned? Because Quad was a Cassiopeia one trick in Korea.
Could be a lot better for NRG.
Yeah, so I was thinking whether or not he was going to go Renekton or Cassante. Now that he picked...
Although I think if he's going to pick...
And it's NA, so nobody could possibly outplay it. Yep, take Garthus, ban AP jungles, ban Zyra. Nope, we're going to ban ADCs instead. Okay, they're going to ban Maokai. They're going to take some of that engage away, even though they already have Ash.
I'm thinking...
Special counter as Poppy into Cassante. How do you like that matchup, Licorice, as a Poppy enjoyer yourself?
I think it's really good. I actually did play it game 1 versus C9. That was the game we won.
True.
True.
Could be Poppy support here, though.
Really strong champion right now. Not a lot of people play her, but just a really powerful pick.
Yeah, as we see the Alistar Hubbard, I was wondering if they might have been thinking of flexing it bot and then saving R5 for top still.
And as we're seeing...
Nah, the thing is, you've already seen the top laner, so it's probably unlikely that happens.
I mean, it's a really straightforward front to back comp. Tank top, tank support, like carry jungle. So like the 4-man has a tank, the 5-man has 2 tanks.
Yep, agreed Licorice here.
About as standard as
You also, this is critical, guys. They actually do have mid-pressure Fortress, so maybe the Karthus can actually farm. You know what I mean? But they're going to lose some pressure bot early.
champions. I do think the FlyQuest comp just has a bit more tools. Like I think the Karthus ult will be really powerful in this game. I think the Poppy to be able to stuff some of the engages from Leona and Cassante is really good.
Yeah.
So I would definitely flavor the FlyQuest comp in this one.
Sounds good to me. I want to hear from the casters as we send this...
Zyra Ash, let's go. You excited? That's the old Cloud9 bot lane. That's the sneaky elimination bot lane.
For NRG. Switching sides this time around. FlyQuest is not going to commit the same sin and allow that Skarner to be led through the draft.
Why do they prefer Karthus/Zyra instead of Talia? She too nerfed. Well, she's not typically played jungle. She is still a good jungler, but Karthus and Zyra farm so quickly.
Impact was definitely scary looking, so we'll see how well FlyQuest is going to pilot that one into Energy, because Energy really need to bounce back, man. They are in the trench right now.
And the key part with that one was it was a bruiser Poppy build. It was not full tank Poppy build. It was Sundered Sky, and he was doing some damage too, getting some kills. So very excited for this one. Honestly, I'm starting to get pretty worried for Energy Summer, you know, and all of the hype and the promotion for them geared towards Summer being their split. They're gonna have to really pull some stuff together here on stage, because now that we are best of threes, you only get to play each team one time. Even though it is a full best of three and you have the opportunity to play 3 full games versus them, and you only get one match versus them, and it sticks with you here with playoff seeding being this important. They're definitely going to have to bring things together quickly.
I mean, it's what the desk was talking about, right? A 0-2 start in summer 2024 feels like 0-4 in any other previous split, and nobody likes starting 0-4. Usually that's where you start to see the light switch from green to yellow, and you got to be like, hold on, boys, hold on. We don't want that to turn red. And Energy is not feeling good about the way that first game went. Hopefully they can bounce back here, find a little bit more coordinated gameplay in game number 2.
Yeah, no slowing down at a yellow light.
I did like the Olaf ban, because this is actually a very good comp for Olaf. If you're Bwitpo, like basically just running past Leona and Zyra onto Ashe and making her life shitty.
To be able to beat the red light. Let's see here, though, about game number 2, because already the Poppy here, Bwitpo getting in their faces, going in. He has Q-start Poppy, went in for the auto attack, picked up his shield, and trying to be as annoying as possible, but Bwitpo here...
It's hard to be annoying, though, if you're Poppy at level 1.
He has Q-start Poppy, went in for the auto attack, picked up
He's like trying to get rid of plants.
But Bwitpo here does get a couple of procs on him.
Not just the auto attack on the plant. His job is just to slow down this ridiculous clear from contracts.
That's funny, though.
Yeah. Whippo and
clearing out the weeds.
Dokel is like, get out of here.
That is funny. That's a funny start.
But Whippo is he's going to be doing a good job of being a nuisance, and his delay on contracts' early jungle start allows Inspired to start his own.
That's actually a very interesting play, because now Inspired's able to like 3-quadrant him.
It's like 2v1 jungle flower.
Even in a losing matchup. This is actually very interesting, guys. I like this play a lot because, first off, it's crazy that Poppy actually won the extended trade on the way back, right? But secondly, because this was delayed, even though they have this lane that gets pushed in at level 1, they've been able, and because Karthus has blue buff, because they're starting on red side, he's able just to go in and start clearing stuff on this side of the map. This is a very clever play at level 1, I think, for FlyQuest. The plant is that important? Yes, it is. Her clear speed is very much affected by the plants.
That is painful, and it's in one of the race car matchups of Zyra versus Karthus. So now Inspired here, the race car is all tuned.
This is going to be hilarious. He's going to take red.
Big early lead versus contracts, stealing away his red buff as well. See
it's huge.
You know how angry he is and what he's able to do, because after Krugs, he's going to have a lot of extra time. So in that situation, if you're the jungler...
So you wouldn't normally be able to do that with an Alistar at level 1 either.
You're trying to notify
so that's very clever by Bwitpo and Inspired.
And mid lane, you're like, please, don't give this guy any freebie opportunities. Because I just took away, you know, all the options for him. So he's going to be angry, and he's going to be looking for something to do. Contracts walks over a ward to come contest Gromp, but that's right into FlyQuest's hands here.
Contracts, buddy.
Previous game, but it ain't looking nearly as good. Going over top of the ward, showing where he's at, gets caught out by Busio, and so has to use his flash very early.
And that is really well done. That is avoiding the situation I was talking about, where you know you have taken away all options.
You can't dive this either if you're NRG.
The vision ward there too to see if he comes over for the kind of angry play where you go for your only one other area to go for.
The thing is, Contracts is an unemployed jungler now, so he's going to be dangerous and just roaming around the map,
I'm going to circle back
looking for a job. Contracts is unemployed, guys.
And then they're rewarded with the flash. But now,
Busio doing a good job knocking Huhi around down here.
Oh, they didn't get him under turret. Okay, so they troll and give first blood.
They're rewarded with the flash.
So they absolutely troll this. So they know. So they just made Contracts unemployed. They literally took away his job, and then they're just surprised Pikachu face that this works this way. And he flashes in to get the Q, Pulve, but he's not actually under turret.
I left my Gromp up there on purpose, and then they're rewarded with the flash. But
Shout out to FlyQuest bot lane, who, just like last split, has now completely trolled this game. Dude, I feel so bad for Inspired. He has to deal with these guys just ruining his perfect game plan. You know what I mean? It's like, hey guys, we just got contracts down. Should we give him first blood?
But now,
ooh, Busio doing a good job knocking Huhi around down here. A lot of damage back onto both supports, but it's going to be Busio.
Should we give him first blood? You know what we should do? We should just throw that entire lead that our team spent getting.
I'm going to circle back around after.
Yep, it's time to walk up onto Leona. This is the time. And then I'm going to punch her back at... Oh, wait, she's not actually in tower range. And I don't have Ignite because I used it to get Contract's flash. Dude, this bot lane is so infuriating from FlyQuest. The degree to which they just throw is crazy. I'd be so mad if I was Inspired. Yeah, exactly. Kobe knows.
He had to still be there. He had to still be there. That was his only option. And FlyQuest
It was literally his only option. He was an unemployed jungler. That was the only thing he could do, was take bot crab and then gank you.
Investing their flash from Busio to go for it. And
Ah!
Out for an extra 30 seconds in bottom lane. Masu not paying enough attention to FlyQuest.
Why?
Punished twice.
I think I know where the review for game number 2 is going to start on the FlyQuest Swag Flowers. Bottom lane here for FlyQuest, giving NRG some hope. Huhi there, out of the brush, gets one for himself. Let's see what can they do with this early start, because it is still a very meager gold lead. This is not like absolutely game changing, especially considering the counter jungling still was painful for Contracts, even though he comes in and he gets this first blood money, which was very much needed for him. He's still going to be a bit behind in experience.
Y'all motherfuckers are blaming Bwipo and Inspired for this team, but like, look at what they have to deal with, guys. Look at what they fucking have to deal with.
The Varus is going to want to stick around here, so is able to punish Masu.
Very good stuff there from Huhi. Masu's going to want that one back, but no takesy-backsies here in the bottom lane. 5 minutes in, it's a 1.2 thousand gold lead for NRG. This is a very similar lead to what we saw for FlyQuest in game number 1. Granted, both of their...
That is so painful.
We just talked about that.
He had to still be there. He had to still be there. That
What
was
you say? That you only meant well, cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, cause it is. What you say? That it's just what we need. You decided this. What you say? What did she say?
Attention to FlyQuest bot lane.
Terrible.
Punished twice.
very meager.
Fire everybody
This is
into
not
the sun.
absolutely game changing. He's still going to be a bit behind in experience because of the 2 camps that were stolen away from his side. And he's still not going to have flash, but Huhi did such a good job sticking around as the Leona, just knowing that
Could have flashed that too.
Wanna, stick around here, so he's able to punish Masu.
Similar lead to what we saw for FlyQuest in game number 1. Granted, both of
Dude, I would be so mad if I was FlyQuest coach.
that got foiled this time around, but it's
I would
still
be
ends up
so
being the
mad.
sort of story being told, and Contracts is down here once
I'm mad
more.
just looking at
Masu
this,
only
and
level 3.
I don't even have to coach this
Julian
team.
FPI, levels 4 and 5. Masu's got some catching up to do. Inspired is going to be around.
Yeah, they had no ward this time around, so Contracts is in there. There's an extra plant. There's 4 brush in this jungle, and there's an extra mobile plant.
Okay, Palafox now flashing away from Quad. Does not want to end up getting yeeted backwards there, as they'll stay safe. Contracts and Huhi joining up with him just to make sure that their mid lane is going to be all right.
Yeah, you like to see this. You know, Huhi this was the change on NRG. You know, the big change that everybody was talking about, and there was a lot of talk from NRG themselves about really incorporating him effectively into the team, as far as both gameplay as well as shot calling. But him and Contracts really trying to take the early advantages from the first couple of plays and turn those early advantages into an actual game plan to win. So taking that and moving up through mid lane over to the grubs to grab the grubs for themselves this time around. A very good start here for NRG. Starting to see, you know, the at least the sparks of that turnaround that the analyst S was looking for.
Exactly, right? They're trending in the positive direction, and that's what they need after how rough week 1 was.
I'm so disappointed. I thought FlyQuest actually played really well in game 1. I really like the start of this game too, before their rookies decided to shit all over the game.
Back for the Drake at the same time, so that's also still up and available if NRG gets control back over the bottom lane again.
Yeah, those are the benefits of, I love this play where you always try and like steamroll through mid up to your objective, because they're able to just chase out enemy mid up through the top side and then kind of chain it into a very quick take. By the way, you know, so many of these AP junglers love taking grubs, but it's always worth saying Zyra is
very good at it.
Extremely good at collecting all of them, especially when you get your Faded Ashes rush off of the first blood.
Well, the grubs like summoning a bunch of little garbage to fight you, and Zyra also loves summoning some garbage of her own. So she's able, she's able to turn it into like a game of StarCraft where you're both spamming trash at each other.
It's a good
Garbage Fight is a very good name for the LCS.
Yeah. Feels good, man.
Up in the Baron pit.
Trash plants versus trash grubs. The battle.
I feel like lore, you know, the grubs, they're kind of like, you know, maggots, and they eat garbage.
Oh,
so
yeah, it's like a compost heap battle.
It should be compost advantage to the grubs, I feel like.
Yeah, it's the compost championship in the Rift Herald pit in the early minutes of the game.
Yeah, and Zyra does win those.
Yeah, she's undefeated right now.
The plants actually beat the grubs.
She's holding the belt. I'll put. she's the champ. The grubs have yet to win the matchup.
Champion trash belt.
Yeah. She's the queen of the dumpster. As NRG is now going
just like LCS.
The bottom lane. Busio not level 6 here on the Alistar means he's not as tanky as he'd like to be. She's the queen of the dumpster. As NRG is now going in for the play here from the bottom lane. Busio not level 6 here on the Alistar means he's not as tanky as he'd like to be, but he's tanky enough to get away.
Nice flash by Masu. He still had flash, so he could make that play.
To get the first kill of the fight. Contract still looking to follow.
Good counter gank by Inspired.
Back, but it ain't gonna work. FlyQuest outplay him in the 3v3.
Oh, yep. Who he goes down. Let's see.
Masu saved his flash for that moment. Calculated.
He was thinking about it. If FBI moved up a little bit too much, then maybe they mess around. But kind of covering here in case Contracts was trying to.
Buzio's first best of 3, but he played quite well, guys.
So FBI's gonna be fine.
His Ornn was actually good.
Just wants to push it back.
The problem is that he's just choke city in important matches.
Modern League of Legends compared to, you know, like back in the day League of Legends. So many more Varus's hit their ults these days. I remember back in the day, Chains of Corruption was like the XD ability because every Varus missed it every time he threw it out. But that time I was like, oh, wow, he actually missed that one. You know, it's not a surprise. Most of the time the Varus's hit these.
Wow, I'm impressed. That was an interesting, like, roundabout flame. Roundabout way to flame.
It wasn't flame. It's just a matter of fact. It's like back in the day, I was surprised if the Varus's hit them. Now I'm surprised if they miss them.
Right. You were just surprised.
We're trending in the positive direction. The keyword is positive. I'm being positive.
Right. Except for the last one that we just saw. But anyways, it's gonna be Dragon.
All right. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Dragon control for NRG because they didn't surrender this first Drake trade for the grubs earlier. Inspired.
It's outrageous that they have a 1,000 gold lead now, and that this Zyra is ahead of Karthus given the start of this game.
Secured by Contracts. Palafox making his way over as well. Inspired's going to take a lot more damage than he wanted to there. He gets out of the way of the Stranglethorns before the knockup would have connected, flashing away from the rocket. I'm not actually sure if that would have hit him or not, but it would have been so close that I respect doing the flash to not give the kill out.
Oh yeah, I think that big one would have exploded and Inspired would be dead, but survives. Dearest Karthus does survive this time around.
Dearest Karthus. Whippo knocking FBI back away from him and then just returns back to the wave to keep on farming. He knows how far away that's going to knock the Ashe. He can go back, finish off this wave. It's not an absolute domination in the top lane for this Poppy counter pick thus far.
I do like the swap there because they can just have Dokla teleport down to bottom side and pick up this wave while they secure themselves the full 6 grubs. Zyra should be able to take care of that, no problem. She still holds the trash belt, and that's not going to change hands here because they've rotated Ashe up topside, as you already saw, and are going to be able to finish it off.
Yep, easy peasy for
Yeah, they forced it back from Whippo, so Whippo also has no ult now, so they get grubs. It's pretty good from NRG.
Unfortunately, they don't have, like, you know, the Tristana and the Ziggs from the previous game for that ultimate turret destruction of annihilation type of comp, but hey, 6 grubs feels good no matter what.
It certainly does. Retains his title. Meanwhile, we now get a little bit of free time. It's kind of interesting where we've got support timer for Huhi.
Yep.
And Flash is ready on Leona, although he needs to soak experience somewhere to get 6. So I was thinking,
a little.
yeah, I was thinking he was going to go soak it off a mid lane, but now he's just kind of looking around the jungle for some wards. Maybe you can even just get it off wards.
Well, you know how those mid laners are, man. You show up to a mid laner's lane, you try to just soak a couple of minions. He's gonna ping till the ping is broke.
Even if you use those minions to
All right, let's get through part of this game.
1,000 gold lead.
My eyes are already bleeding.
Slight advantages just across the board there on the scoreboard for the individual gold differences.
I can't believe NRG is getting away with this shit, man. I can't believe it.
Count it.
That's a counter.
They should have been absolutely put in the dumpster this game.
All right, we got to jump in.
Yeah, Quad going in for it. Chunks out Palafox, but now he's got to be careful because Contract's trying to lock Quad up, but he jumps back away with that reset rocket jump as Whippo now jumping in for FBI, but FBI's pretty all right with this. I mean, he knows that as soon as Poppy tackles after him, there's not really any more gap closed to deal with the slow, so FBI's perfectly comfortable until Busio and Inspired show up. Maybe we will get something here after all. Busio, again, let's see if he can find any sort of a lockdown. Nope, not going to happen. Whippo was not able to keep.
Very slight health trade over here. Meanwhile, on the top side, we have the opposite mismatch. Where
Why do you think it's so rare to see AP champ spot lane other than Ziggs? Well, as a rule, AP champions are much more about levels. So having lower levels is generally bad on most AP champions. Plus, they don't have the same escapability, you know, as a lot of AD champs. The reason why we see AD champs being played mid is like Tristan can basically buffer her way out of anything, right? And she basically wins mid pressure, and mid pressure is the most important lane to get pressure on for your team in the game. And also, like, Faded Ashes it's about where you get your AP damage from, and Faded Ashes is so good in the jungle right now. And the fact that a lot of these jungle carry champs can play with Blackfire and Leandries at the same time, so they scale very well.
That then the Karthus ultimate would actually be a kill ultimate, and so
I'm sure there are some AP champs that aren't being used that are viable, but a lot of them just aren't very good. Like, the thing about it is that in general, AD champs scale better with items. And what you get from being in the bot lane is just like more gold because your support is helping you get that gold, but you don't necessarily need the items. Or, I mean, you don't necessarily need the levels as much.
Trash fight world champ. Yes, sir. So let's see. Nobody's going to take his belt anytime soon.
No way, man. This is such a better look for NRG than game number 1 was. Like, I like the draft situation better. I like the fact that they're actually coordinating as a team so much more coherently.
I saw your House of Dragon opinion bold, and I like it. Dude, it's a really good show.
Now, they're the ones going after the Herald. FlyQuest has a couple of dudes nearby, but those dudes are not making their way over to the pit. Quad with an
I'm gonna record our House of the Dragon show on Wednesday with Doa, so we'll talk about that. But I really like it.
Here just yet goes for the flash. Pulverize wanted to get the headbutt back into the turret, but it ain't gonna work out now. Huhi coming in to cut off that escape route. Busio has already used the ultimate. The unbreakable will might get broke after all. Huhi wants to jump in here with a Zenith Blade and the shield of Dave. Huhi comes. Nearly dies at the final course. Has a couple of dudes nearby, but those dudes are not making their way over to the pit. Quad with a knockback on Palafox here goes for the Tristan.
So we're trying to like make plays when we know that they're taking Herald and Busio's just wandering around. He literally tries to headbutt him, but Dokla ults him, or Dokla just pushes him. That's hilarious. Look at Busio. It's like, I got this, guys. Flash Q, and he's like, nope, you do not get to use your W. Dokla just stops him. Then they just drop it. They just drop the Herald. Are they going to get 2 turrets here? What a sad defense. Why is Busio there?
And the cow is down. Rift Herald takes out that first turret. They're going to get the charge here onto the tier 2.
He flashed for that because he didn't. I mean, Dokla outplayed him, is what it was. Dokla outplayed him and pushed him out of position to use his W. So, I mean, credit to Dokla, but like, why is Busio there? Quad was 1 HP.
Then Busio tries to get the knockback on him into the tower, but he ends up getting Cassante pushed back, and then he's the one who dies, plus the tower. NRG here, really, really strong comeback in game number 2. Pushing that lead is...
You saw season 1 and really enjoyed it, but more like a royal court drama. Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Onto bottom side and getting their lead there. They took that lead, they ran through mid, they turned it into the objectives of getting the 6 Void Grubs so you can do really strong pushes like we just saw. That plus the Herald, poof, towers are all gone on top side.
And you know, I respect the fact that FlyQuest is trying to make some plays happen when they're behind, but at the same time, you're going to have to clean them up a little bit more than what you're doing, because a lot of what we're getting this game from FlyQuest is just, it's a little bit of slop, you know? I want to see this be a little bit cleaner, a little bit tighter.
I'm okay with a little slop. every now and then, you know?
Sometimes the game of League of Legends got to get a little bit messy.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit. Sometimes you need the extra entertainment factor.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, NRG's pretty entertained right now. They are loving the current state of this.
They want to get to that, final game. It's a best of 3. They want to make use of the full.
I feel so bad for Inspired this game, though.
Every time, best of 3. You need that third game.
I don't know what his team is doing, dude. Whippo and Inspired just getting trolled this game. People don't understand this. Like, this happened a lot in spring, and people they just don't like Inspired and they don't like Whippo, but like the number of games that FlyQuest lost because their bot lane was fucking trolling was crazy. It's like their bot lane is just obsessed with dropping the dub.
Back underneath my turret. It's my favorite place to be anyway.
Now they're desperate, so they're just trying to make any play happen here. I don't know why Inspired's flashing. He should just die. They also commit Poppy CP here. Maybe they get a couple kills if you actually have... I mean, Inspired should not be flashing out. You just have to commit to those plays, Scarthus, I think.
At the same time, he'll trade his own flash for it. You call that worth energy. 4,000 gold lead.
You just die and see if you can take a couple of them with you. Like, once the play is all in, and this play is all in because they dropped the ward for Poppy to TP. Like, you can't flash out like this. You gotta die.
And since the teleport is so deep for Whippo, he's also trapped inside. Inspired barely gets out on the Karthus after flashing, and then
I think he takes 1 or 2 with him if he stays.
Masu's flash here. You'll trade a Huhi flash in chasing Masu for the Varus flash every day of the week.
Ooh, Quad getting hit by a good chunk of damage there, down to 1/3. Inspired, trying to stay here and protect. Oh, Busio. Every time the camera goes on Busio, he is getting his butt kicked this game. It is a tough game to be an Alistar that's behind the curve of things.
Yeah. Receiving quite a lot of damage, a lot of it at the hands of Palafox too. How you liking this reworked Corki, Captain Flower?
Can anybody explain the reason why all the AP jungle is back? A few reasons. Corki and Trist are very strong in the mid lane, so you have to pick up AP damage somewhere besides mid. And tanks are very strong in top right now because Rumble's frequently banned. So AP junglers are attractive. They were also good prior to this patch, and Faded Ashes being in the game is huge because it allows you to get a burn item on first recall and then just power farm like crazy. Whatever happened to TSM? They sold their slot to Shopify and then made a bunch of lies about how they were going to buy a different team and then never did it. Shockingly. I know we're all surprised that Reginald would ever lie, but...
barriers through it. Palafox dies beforehand anyway, so the value of this Karthus is just invisible in this second game.
Oof. Almost pushing the gold lead to 6,000 here. Our energy after the invade. I completely agree with your point on Palafox there earlier as well. Even though he ended up dying, so critical for them to have a strong performance from him, because even as recently as last game, from game number 1 of this series, a little bit rough. So nice stuff here from NRG. If they're able to finish this one out, this could be something that really kind of revitalizes them. Let's take another look, though. You can tell they're thinking.
Nice stop on the Leona engage.
This lead as hard as possible. Who he immediately had gone for the engage, and
All right, Inspire's just never going to use his. He's a Karthus who refuses to use his passive, guys. Oh well, it's mandatory to use his passive now, but.
There you go. Every time a Varus ult hits now, I'm going to think of what you said earlier in the game, where you're only surprised when they miss now, like it's a point and click or something. But that was a good snipe there, a critical one that earned the only kill for FlyQuest.
Yeah, that was solid. That worked out. But unfortunately for FlyQuest, this game state as a whole just continues more and more favoring NRG's side, as now they're starting up the Baron. But they got to be careful here. There is a few ways you can still throw a 6,000 gold lead. One of them is the Baron Pit. Inspired, chunk to half HP. Nice arrow there, Chains of Corruption. Not going to connect as NRG walks back away. Masu, he had it there in case they were going to keep chasing. I can see what he was going for. I'm not going to put the XD in chat on that one.
Yeah, zoning, right?
Yeah, that's understandable. He's creating space with the chains. That's important. As NRG, they might not have been able to get the Baron, but I think for NRG fans, they're probably still feeling relief more than anything that it wasn't a Baron throw.
Yeah, and when you put it that way, I have to wholeheartedly agree. The only downside for NRG teleport kind of looming, they were able to
Masu with a critical error that foils any
NRG there. They actually got value out of it.
Okay, we got a TP coming in.
Masu is face checking a brush.
But because
Masu is face checking into Zyra Ash Leona.
Okay, we got a TP coming in. FlyQuest, we're going to make a move.
Yep. All right. Well, we're done here. We're done here.
Very important to note, those are black and white portraits for both of these ranged carries, and they both spent their flashes to still die.
Thank you, dearest Karthus, for pressing R. Nice R button there. Honestly, though, Quid.
White portrait. I was worried as FlyQuest, any plan that FlyQuest might have had, FBI might be. Okay, we got a TP coming in. FlyQuest, we're going to make a move, but the move is already done. Masu with a critical error that foils any plan that FlyQuest might have had. FBI might be taken out here. Nope, not quite enough damage, but it looks like the record.
And then we just walk one by one into Tristana, and then get Karthus ulted. Dear Lord.
After all, as Huhi, Dokla, and Contracts just trying to walk away from this one. FlyQuest finally getting a little bit of momentum. I was worried as Masu died at the very start that any sort of a chance they might have had would have got foiled. But Palafox and FBI both end up getting punished. Very important to note, those are black and white portraits for both of these ranged carries, and they both spent their flashes to still die. As Huhi out here.
How does this happen?
Just trying to walk away from this. Like the is already done. Masu with a critical error that foils in
from NRG there. They actually got value out of it.
Like they see the TP coming in.
FlyQuest, we're going to make a move, but the move is already done.
Well, like FBI can flash out of this. He flashes late.
Any plan that FlyQuest might have had, FBI might be taken out here. Nope, not quite enough damage, but it looks like the Requiem.
I do like how 3 of them are trying to kill an ulting Alistar. I like how 3 of them are trying to kill ulting Alistar instead of peeling for the Poppy. Woo!
Might have had. FBI might be taken out here. Nope, not quite enough.
Like they literally just go and all in the ulting Alistar and leave Corki and Ash to die. To Trist.
Just trying to walk away from this one. FlyQuest finally getting a little bit of momentum. I was worried as Masu died at the very start that any sort of a chance they might have had would have got foiled. But Palafox and FBI both end up getting punished. Very important to note, those are black and white portraits for both of these ranged carries, and they both spent their flashes to still die.
Thank you, dearest Karthus, for pressing R. Nice.
Sometimes I watch Gen G play and then switch on the latest NRG game to see the true alpha peak League of Legends instead.
Squad to me has been quite good on so getting some chunks here, and once you get your Kraken plus your Navori, you actually really start to feel the synergy here. You start to feel the extra power of this champion, and if they're able to
according to one article, TSM is returning at the end of 2024. Heard that one before. What, are they just going to be a licensed LPL team? Like, get out. That's not them coming back. Like, doing an NIP and just letting an LPL team use their name is not coming back.
Around 50% at the moment. They force.
Okay, the target is going to be Busio. The Alistar is plenty tanky. Chains of Corruption. flies out, but Dokla having a flash away now. Busio still alive.
Or are they just gonna like become part of Immortals or Shopify?
Back into the wall from Whippo, looking to make his escape. Inspired goes on a rampage. Dearest Karthus has made his way onto the rift, sir.
I mean, what's crazy is that this Karthus is actually getting strong in a game where they're 5,000 gold down.
But Dokla having a flash away now. Percent at the moment. They force. Okay, the target is going to be Busio. The Alistar.
Dude, NRG is obsessed with this fucking Alistar. They are fucking obsessed with this Alistar. They literally use everything on Alistar every time. And then Busio has Warmog, so he just insta-heals back up to full.
Karthus has made his way onto the rift, sir. It might have taken him a while, but the party has started and Inspired has arrived.
Oh yeah, this time around, Huhi's look for the aggressive re-engage is a little bit too far away from the rest of the squad, and they further separate them. The Alistar here, pretty annoying to deal with when you're going for those as like the solo re-engage. So FlyQuest are able to get.
It's actually crazy that FlyQuest is maybe gonna win this game.
Biggest credit though, that Poppy ultimate got both carries. Poppy ultimate ejecting both Palafox and FBI is what allowed FlyQuest to even be in that position.
I mean, Poppy Ultimate is such a game-changing ulti, right? It's something similar to like Lamb's Respite or Tempered Fate. The ability to just remove something that should happen and say, no, it's actually not happening now. You just get to rewrite the script.
You certainly do. Rewrite it in your favor. Meanwhile, Quad continues to get richer. You got solo tower gold in the post-play. Even though he wasn't able to get the kill credit on that Huhi kill, getting the solo tower gold afterwards, very, very beneficial here. Gets the full BF sword, and they're right back out to reset here towards Baron Vision.
Now, still a 4,000 gold lead for NRG overall, but the thing that I'm looking at here on the scoreboard is the fact that there now is a 400 gold individual lead for Inspired. He does have 4 out of the 5 kills that FlyQuest have secured for themselves so far. Yes, they are still significantly behind, but if this Karthus...
Surely Varus goes lethality with Triss doing on hit. Yes, the Varus should be going lethality here. Agreed.
With this ulti after it, you can really change a fight with that.
You just can't. How are you supposed to do a lot of autos in a team fight when you're getting CC'd by Ashe, Leona, and Zyra?
Chain CC'd by the solar flare into the arrow, but there's no way to follow up on any of it. Palafox is already dead. NRG value with this ulti.
Holy shit! It is crazy that they might lose this game. I mean, Bwipo makes the play here, though. Right? He just flash E's onto Palafox, who's obsessed with autoing this mid lane turret.
Are committing resources in a real strange way. They use both of their biggest.
They didn't even get mid tower.
Yeah, and Narnia's behind the tower too.
Yeah,
I didn't.
That's
know.
the wardrobe.
Yeah.
This is so bad, guys.
Unable to break the wardrobe. There's still like an auto or two left on mid lane tower. And so FlyQuest now, after that kill, they're going to move on over. Let's see. It's a little bit risky. No Karthus ultimate, so they don't want to start it up. But another one there for FlyQuest. NRG, though, this tower, just get in there. And
Yeah, just smack the stupid thing. There you go. Use those grubbies. The grubbies changed their fandom from the Void Grubs.
Oh my God.
The World Wrestling Championship of the topside grub duel arena now.
And Contracts has yet to be killed, so we need to track this belt because currently he still holds it. But now, with the way the game is looking, FlyQuest might end up with it.
Oh yeah, I want to see if Inspired delivers the Stone Cold Stunner to the Zyra in the middle of one of these team fights with a big ulti from the top rope. But
Give me that trash belt.
Yeah, what we got still 3,500 gold lead for NRG, which sounds impressive, but it has shrank down from that. What was it, about a 6,000 gold peak 10 minutes ago?
Yeah. And FlyQuest doing a good job fighting back here, continuing their.
Not even at the best part yet. Lord help me. This game is so bad.
Just one more level for the really big ultis to start to rain down. Meanwhile,
Wow, his Karthus is actually scary.
Difficult time, holding the split push, even though he's
All right, buffer the Ashe Arrow. Okay, nice.
Here on the Poppy, he's got his Sunfire, he's got his Fimbulwinter. It's kind of tank matchup where you focus on the minions and still able to do their job. So FlyQuest, let's see if they can keep it up, because NRG return to one of the most cursed areas of the map for them so far in summer, which has been the Baron area, trying to at least take away some of the wards, some of the vision first. It's difficult for them because you mentioned it last time, but I mean, they invested all their engagement.
The Baron area?
Varus, but the Varus is
What?
so deep back in enemy territory.
NRG keeps getting
Behind
touched in the
tower,
Baron
they had no
area.
follow-up during their stuns, and just kind of got annihilated.
Stunning the dude is great. Being able to kill him afterwards is better by a lot.
Yeah, definitely want to stun someone that is within range of your DPS. So let's take a look, though. They will still be able to pick up Dragon number 2 here.
Yep. But it's not like they've been stacking a whole bunch of dragons so far this game. It's not like this is going to be any sort of immediate win condition. The fastest they would be able to secure a soul is 10 minutes from now. And 10 minutes from now, even if the gold stays exactly as it is, 4,000 doesn't mean that much close to 40 minutes in.
Also, beyond gold, range is such a strong scaling factor. And so Tristana here getting levels. Karthus looking at levels too. He's over halfway now to level 16. So the more and more levels into the FlyQuest carries on their side, they already have some range advantages, but Tristana continually adding to that range does make it more and more scary here for NRG. Despite their gold lead, they're probably starting to feel the pressure here.
Well, that EXP bar on Karthus that you pointed out, over halfway there, now about 80% of the way. He's also
All right, come on, let's go.
In the inventory. Right about the time he gets to 16, he's also going to buy his hat. Karthus really likes some fancy headwear, man.
Yeah.
This could be a serious issue, and I think NRG are looking at exactly that.
I can do this so fast with those Zyra plants. Holy shit.
To enchant the plants to make sure they can rush this down. This could be a serious issue.
That is crazy, especially with the Zyra ult.
Exactly that. They're going in. They're starting up the Baron. They already used the Stranglethorn.
FlyQuest really doesn't respect this.
Likes some fancy headwear, man. This could be a serious issue. And I think
They do not respect this at all.
Exactly that. They're going in. They're starting up the Baron. They already used.
Guys. They have 3 blue trinkets available. They have 3 blue trinkets available. 3 of them. Should we figure out what they're doing? Nah, we love the darkness.
And I think NRG are looking at exactly that. They're going in. They're starting up the Baron. They already used the Stranglethorns to enchant the plants to make sure they can rush this down. NRG are going to secure Baron Nashor, but now what about the fight? Whippo has already got Palafox into the picture.
Yeah, FBI is dead.
Be gunned down by Quad. Master with some lockup, one of the remaining players.
Nice job by Contracts to get through the portal.
But the Requiem is summoned. NRG have disengaged in time. It's not going to be that meaningful.
Dokla has Jack shows up, so he doesn't actually take that much damage. It was an anger Karthus ult. 12 seconds, yeah, very fast.
They were feeling the pressure. Despite them having the gold lead, they were feeling so much pressure in this game because of the FlyQuest scaling factors, and so they make the call. I think correct choice. Just burn Baron.
That is a good call by NRG.
Rush it down, and then everybody scramble for the escape. FBI does go down, but a single person in payment for this.
I think Carson should flash in the pit and flip the smite. Yeah, at least he can do a ton of damage while they're there, right? Like, he can flip it, but he can also do a crap ton of damage to them while they're in the pit. Inspired really feels like very reluctant to actually die on Karthus in this game.
Out over halfway there, now about 80% of the way. He's also got the 2 large. Karthus really likes some fancy headwear, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why are we not using any blue trinkets either? Like, he can flash in right here and maybe do something, you know what I mean?
Are looking at exactly that. They're going in. They're starting.
He values the Dark Seal stacks. He only has 8.
To enchant the plants to make sure they can rush this down.
Plus, you can get more after you die. With Karthus passive.
FBI is going to be gunned down by Quad. Master with some lockup, one of the remaining players. Contracts goes over the wall and rides the Hex Gate back out. But the
I think they at least kill one additional person, though, if Karthus goes in there after Baron's taken.
But if you can get Poppy to find some kind of an angle there for a wallbang, it's a whole lot of potential to start a fight off in a very explosive way. So while NRG has this Baron, why this should now be an opportunity for them to push the lead forward and try to expand that gold lead back up towards that 6K peak it was previously at. They need to be careful, they need to be warding their flanks, and they need to be working together.
They certainly do. Especially FBI and Huki here, those are the means for picking someone off. A late game pick like this, while FlyQuest are trying to keep control of their minion waves and push them out.
Yep.
That's the way that you can win this game. An Ash Arrow, a Leona ultimate. If Huhi and FBI can just pin one member down as they're transitioning between defending these towers, between cleaning up these minion waves. Right now, though, they 4-1 split push. They actually invest the Zyra ultimate early.
Yeah, they wanted to go for that one, and now with the Requiem coming down, Huhi might be the guy in some trouble. Whippo approaching from the angle, but he's not going to find it in time. Instead, Dokla shows up here with a TP. Whippo charging up the Keeper's Verdict, goes for the knockback on Contracts and Palafox, but just shy of the range that he would have needed to knock them both away. No dead bodies either side.
And that's very good for FlyQuest. That's great news for them because they are just trying to defend against the Baron siege at the moment, and they were going to get split push pressure because Dokla had just gotten there up on the top side, but Dokla immediately teleports in because of the engage for FlyQuest. So that was a very successful defense for FlyQuest to buy themselves a lot more time.
And you can see up in the top left, the amount of gold gained for the Baron, it's only at plus 400 right now with 10 seconds left on the buff for energy. That's not great. Just killing the thing gives you 1,500 across the whole team. So FlyQuest, when the dust is all settled, they ended up losing a total of 500 gold to the enemy Baron pickup. You'll take that, I think, any day of the week.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, oh no, 500 gold. What will I ever do without my Doran's Blade? But
meanwhile, Lord Dom's completed as well for Quad. This Tristana is truly threatening, and they found a pick.
Yeah, it looks like they're going after Dokla here. Cassante is not normally a champion you would look at and say, yeah, let's pick that guy. But when you got this much firepower, you might as well just unload. Quad ends up getting his second kill.
All right, how much damage? Is there a minion wave up at that tower? It looks like Palafox pushes in topside, and they're going to rotate over towards mid. NRG want to get the secondary tower here, the guaranteed gold, the payment for Dokla's life.
Yep. And they will indeed do that. So although the pick comes in for Fly,
It's only a 5k gold difference though, and this Karthus is still enormous. Now Karthus has death cap.
800 gold. That's a good bonus, but we're also 33 minutes into the game.
And the only thing is that the mid one, funnily enough, they made worth less than the side lane ones because they're
seventh camp and Palafox
push as a strategy, and so that's why the side lane secondary ones are worth a little extra.
Palafox has shield bow though. Don't worry, guys.
Top laners is the seventh camp, and Palafox is looking. Nope. Palafox is looking to go home. He does not want to go camping. He has allergies. He is not looking to.
So he TPs away from the gank squad that's coming up, but they don't push bot side. I guess empowered recalls do make that very difficult. They do get a Hex Tech Drake, so they're on Soul Point now. This is actually shockingly still winnable for FlyQuest.
5 minutes from now, that could be Hex Soul.
Yeah, Energy knew.
Yeah, he's getting
it was like 26 seconds or something.
He's getting Void Staff now.
They're like, you know what? We'll get the payment in the secondary tower in mid lane, but we're not going to.
Surprised Inspired has played Fiddle at all. I mean, Peanut played it against KT yesterday.
And they are
Not sure it was serious, but who knows.
Level 18 achieved for Quad on this Tristana with the dreamed 4-item power spike. This is when it is truly peaking.
Who comes off looking worse from this game, Fly or NRG? I mean, FlyQuest bot lane looks pretty bad. But NRG, honestly, that they couldn't close. I mean, they got gifted this game, basically. At least FlyQuest did some stuff I liked.
From your Lord Doms.
Quad doesn't really seem to know the limits of this Tristana. He jumps in.
Passive range, and Palafox wanted to go for the.
To be fair, the shield bow actually does cause Palafox to win this.
Palafox with the outplay in a 1v1. Beautifully done from the energy mid laner.
That's so funny.
Yeah, turns out, too bad, the genius midfielder Palafox.
Oh, Masu uses the cleanse there. Nice job from FBI forcing out that summoner spell, but Busio is still looking for Palafox down here in the bottom lane at the same time. Palafox gets away back to the safety of the base.
Cal versus Plane. Palafox escapes on the bottom side.
That's a tough matchup.
Is he going to get to the fountain in time? He doesn't get to the fountain in time!
Cal versus Plane, but the Cal is haunted.
Can we look at the fountain steps? Palafox died almost at the... Is he going to get to the fountain?
Here in the bottom lane at the same time.
Oh yeah, he actually just walked back to base, which gave Karthus the amount of time he needed, because Karthus ult's coming off cooldown. Karthus ult comes off cooldown right now. He presses it on cooldown, basically. It's actually pretty clutch, but there's still an opportunity here to do this, and there's no more Karthus ult, so that's pretty nice for them.
He was so close to get it back. Where's that plane? Oh, it disappeared. It was right there.
He crashed right before he made the return flight home. Now FlyQuest looking for their 4v4. Huhi, the target here with the star, but that's not a very good target. Whipple going to be turning that right back around into FBI, looking to take down the Ashes. Inspired's going to be taken over the wall with the all-out coming in from Dokla. The first kill going over that away. FBI still running, but he's also still...
Okay, here's the TP coming in. Palafox is TP as well, but he's 25 seconds.
They're the only team that lost a
Well, Contract's actually got the blue buff.
Quad, so it's not like NRG can push it any further. Dokla still looking maybe for a recall. Quad's just going to push up this mid lane wave, look to take out that tier 2 as the call.
That is the advantage of, you know, having the Cassante into the Karthus, just removing him from dangerous situations.
He's still looking to chase him. Locks him down with the Zenith blade. Whippo jumping right back into the fight, looking to take one with him. FBI drop.
Thing is, Poppy's surprisingly tanky when she gets low, especially if she keeps picking up bucklers. Because remember her pass at high levels, right? She's 17, so she actually has points in W. So she gets more tanky the lower she gets. But we basically just keep fighting until Palafox revives.
Jump up, Whippo's down to 1/4 HP. He's still looking to chase him. Locks him down with the Zenith blade. Whippo jumping right back into the fight, looking to take one with him. FBI drops. Dokla's about to fall here too. Boostio's on the hunt and Quad is on the chase. NRG are still trying to outplay it, but the damage from FlyQuest is way too good. Palafox finally swoops into the fight, and now it's Masu and Boostio and Whippo trapped behind enemy lines. A triple kill over the Contracts.
That's the thing, is they can two-man the Baron.
Palafox will finish off this.
Oh, he doesn't actually get the kill.
Barely, no. Whippo lives through it, and he'll live to see another day.
And just like that, Karthus is back alive as revived.
Oof.
After getting picked off and separated from the team with Dokla. So Inspired's back out to farming. We are about to get the respawn. Let's take a look at how it all started out, though. This play from Dokla.
It's well played by Dokla.
He separates the Karthus, gets the Karthus body.
Separating the Karthus out of the jungle is huge there. Because they know he doesn't have ult, because he just used it to kill Corki. So Karthus' passive is actually useless here. He's not close enough to deal damage to anybody.
Even though Corki just died to Karthus ultimate, they now have the power. And so FlyQuest, they move into the jungle. Quad's going to go for this tower, as you know, but we're back out to another Baron rush.
The Zyra ulti.
I mean, they can't do anything about this.
Look at how fast they burn this. This was Zyra and Corki. That was a...
Let me ask you one thing. Are you having fun, Flowers?
Oh, I'm having a good old time.
See, a little...
I'm not having a good time.
This is a banger.
Holy cow. Damage dealt last 10K. That's like as much as all the rest of them dudes put together. Like, that's 44 plus 44 is 8. Yeah, it's actually almost exactly the same as all 4 other players on NRG put together. Insane DPS from Contracts here. This Zyra 4-0 and 6. He still hasn't died.
Still holding that belt. Don't underestimate.
Yeah,
Don't underestimate the plants. The power of the plants here. And now with Dragon spawning, this is a possible Dragon Soul for FlyQuest, but NRG have the control of all vision leading up to the Dragon, and they're the ones controlling the choke points. So I think that FlyQuest should probably let this one go. Knowing them, though, maybe they won't do it. Let's see. Boostio does have Flash, but he's only level 12 on the Alistar, so you're still pretty squishy.
Yep. Okay.
Base checking is so dangerous.
It's such a big risk, man. FlyQuest know that, yeah, you can still give this one away. They're not on 3 Drakes as well. You're not giving away the soul itself, but it looks like they want to fight. Boostio trying to be the first one in, but it's going to be Whippo leading the charge instead. Stranglethorns placed down as Inspired has to try to flash away. Dokla's going to be traded for him almost. The Requiem summoned up. Masu getting back over the wall here with the glance.
Nice three-man knockup, actually. They can't get through the Leona.
They're just stronger. He finally dies in the back end of things. But over the wall here with the in, but it's going to be Whippo leading the charge instead. Stranglethorns placed down as Inspired.
Why is Inspired flashing out? Why?
Flash away. Dokla's going to be traded for him almost.
What the fuck, man?
Requiem summoned up. Masu getting back over the wall here.
Imagine if he had flashed in.
Boostio with a 3-man knockup. FlyQuest still trying to find the fight, but it ain't gonna work. NRG, they're just...
My God, dude.
He finally dies in the back end of things, but Whippo will not be able to... Boostio with leading the charge.
Like, look, he's stunned. He's 1H. He flashes out. He could literally flash right here. What? Vegan. Vegan Karthus.
Placed down as Inspired has to try to flash away. Dope was going to be traded for him almost. The Requiem summoned off. Masu getting back over the wall here with the glance. Busio with a 3-man knockout.
Masu just dies to Dot from Zyra.
Energy. They're just stronger. Who he finally dies on the back end of things, but Whippo will not be able to escape the perma slows of the Ash. He will not take FBI with him. It's a 4 for 2 for Energy.
And how much can they get? Because they still have Baron buff for another minute, so they can immediately push afterwards. They've got a wave on bottom side.
Why does this guy flash out on Karthus every time? Like, man up, dude. You have Void Staff. You're a fucking 6-item Karthus.
Contracts are going to make sure of it.
Yeah, this inhibitor tower, they are both cooked, my friend. Quad is going to set up and try to defend here at the 2 Nexus turrets, but it's still 10 seconds on Busio. It's 15 on Inspired, and the first Nexus turret is not looking too strong. Turret destroyed by contracts. The arrow ain't going to hit Quad.
Please tell me there's not another game of this.
1 second left in the
Well, bad news, guys. Man, what a good start by FlyQuest to that game as well. I think Inspire was just tilted by his bot lane completely running it down when they got that lead.
That is exactly what I was feeling. Like, I could.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. All right. Woo.
Also feel the same array.
Let's go.
Because they even defended it once and got his
Back
flash.
into the horrible fire of LCS shittery.
All best of series now in the
I just arrived how the series been. Game 1, FlyQuest played well.
But NRG, remember their lesson from game number 1. They're back on red side. They're paying their taxes this time. Skarner is not getting into the rift. Whippo's going to have to play something different.
Yeah, it's the new Skarner tax. Used to be you buy
Banned out here too.
All right, they're actually banning Skarner this time. Ashband on this side. We left up the Ziggs now. We dropped the completely useless Kindred ban, so that's nice. We're going to first pick Leona. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. They banned the Nautilus.
Tristana, maybe?
High-tier blindables.
Definitely a huge, because one...
Yep, and we get to see this time around quad.
Okay, so Corki and Karthus. No, Ezreal is still up, so we're going to see Leona Ezreal in the bot side. The Gen G versus T1 bot lane. Oh, that was before the buffs in 14-12, so it's even better now. It could also be Ezreal mid, Corki bot lane, but with Leona, it's probably Ezreal bot. So they're going to ban the Poppy now that they've seen this. They don't want Bwipo playing the Poppy. Bwipo actually did have a pretty good Poppy game. He wasn't the reason they lost. Zyra. So the Brand... Remember that NRG thought that Brand and Kindred were good bans in game number 1. And they just let them have Zyra. Now I let them have Zyra again. And we're just going to play Twisted Fate. So we have virtually no front line, but huge pick potential for FlyQuest. Huge pick potential.
Requiem, when you have 4 squishy ranged champions, all of a sudden nobody feels like they can.
Diana?
But there is your red.
Why don't we just play Maokai? Like literally here, if you play Maokai, you can just front to back team fight and you can actually engage super easily onto them, and TF can never do anything. Because the thing is, the way you play TF these days, not only do you win lane, right, but you want to get into the back line. And so if you have TF here, like if you're playing into this TF and TF ults into the backline, then you could just Maokai W him, right? You can Tristana ult him. I mean, I think Maokai is the pick. Gives you enormous engagement. I don't really understand the Diana. Is the theory that you just win the 1v1 versus Zyra?
This pick right now is another... It is much more. It's similar in speed clearing, but it is much more a counter in the hard engage for all these squishy champions. Like Diana getting in here.
What about Maokai?
Combos. You have a Kai'Sa that follows up. You have a very good dive composition here to be able to follow up with.
What about Maokai? You can do the same thing with Maokai.
Mobile carries from the back line, and then having other dive partners in Cassante and Alistar for the Diana. I actually quite like it. I know this is a pick that's a little controversial at the moment.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't understand why. Like Maokai just seems so good in this situation. Does Maokai have invade pressure? No. But you don't need invade pressure.
Win that every time, pretty much, no matter what the state of the game is. So I think Inspired's gonna have to be really careful this game, and Contracts will hopefully be able to take over the game with Diana.
Yeah, and it's a
one of these squads feels really bad. FlyQuest was just one of our top 2 teams in the previous split. NRG was the LCS champion just last summer. Neither one of them wants to have that abysmal start when you're only playing a grand total of 7 BO3s for the regular season. So let's see who's got it. Here in game number 3, you're going to see FlyQuest immediately 5-man squad to control the bottom side river.
Yeah, looks like they're going to get a little aggressive level 1. The Leona Ezreal is going to be a lot stronger than the Kai'Sa Nautilus, so FlyQuest can choose to do whatever they want to do on this bot side. I would be surprised if they went for a full split map here, just because they have the TF top lane, and generally you don't want to split the map away from the TF, but he is staying down here, so it looks like they're doing something.
Yeah, and that's kind of why NRG invested so many.
So they're trying to lane swap away from, so they don't have to play level 1 Karthus, or level 1 Karthus, level 1 Alistar in lane.
How deep are they going to get? Because who's
against Ezreal Leona?
1 minute 20 seconds. So they are committed to this.
Yeah, it looks like NRG is actually opting in for the full lane swap here. They're sending
The
a
thing
dual
is,
lane
Bwipo
swap,
can just
and
gold card
Dojo's
Palafox
just
in the
gonna
mid
go
lane now and
top
help
here.
pressure.
So they are just completely opting out of that TF Cassante matchup and the early bot lane matchup, which makes sense because they lose both of them so hard.
Yep, really.
TF is obviously going to get hurt by this because he can't utilize his passive to generate extra gold, and he needs items more than Cassante does.
Strategy. The damage reduction for the first 5 minutes on top tower has been increased to 75% from the 50%, and then of course your first tower going down.
So now Bwipo just sits here and sees if he can gold card Palafox, basically.
But looks like
Slow push in the bot side.
Slow push here, while you have the classic
Faster push up here is probably a third wave push that NRG is going for.
As possible, the top laners, you basically choose the least annoying job for yourself. Are you a fan of helping the jungler, Licorice, or trying to harass the enemy mid laner? I guess it depends on your pick.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely depends on the pick. I mean, TF, you're definitely looking for like those angles into mid lane. If you can ghost in and burn the flash, that's really valuable in this kind of game state because you just don't really get to play the game for the first like 5 minutes or so. And I think like it was soft nerfed, but I think what NRG's kind of going for here is they're saying like we're going to go down maybe like 2 or 3 plates. It's like about 500 gold. They think they'll go down more than that if they just play the lanes out properly with all these losing matchups. So they're just taking the gamble.
Yeah, I like it. They're willing to pay that price. And I think it is a good call. We'll see about the bit of snowball, though.
What's the stat you guys are talking about? They show a stat?
Was the LCS here in game number 3? You're going to see
It's going to be a lot stronger than the Kite
here.
I don't know what stat. Oh, wait.
1 minute 20 seconds, so they are committed to this.
Yeah, it looks like
Percentage of energy season completed so far.
NRG is actually opting in for the full lane.
Yeah, like everybody's playing the same number of matches.
That's really valuable in this.
Actually, that's not even true. Like it should say regular season, because like you don't know what percentage of their season they've completed. There are playoffs, right?
He's still sticking around. We're 1 minute.
I mean, they think they'll go down more than that if they just play the lanes out properly with all these losing matchups. So they're just taking the gamble.
Yeah, I like it. They're willing to pay.
Okay, third wave crash on both sides.
Is a good call. We'll see about the bit of snowball, though. As for you, were you very happy to see?
Obviously, more plates are going to go down to the bot side. Go down on the bot side.
Coming, watching MSI and seeing a decent amount of lane swaps come back. Or did you find it? Do you find it interesting? I mean, some top laners are like, you know what? Maybe there's some little interesting here where you get to get real creative, even though you are very poor and underleveled.
Yeah, I haven't met any of those top laners.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't think those guys are real, man.
Gorky TP into top lane, so there's always a risk that they fake the recall, right?
I don't think those guys are real, man.
But they're putting quad up there, interestingly, and Twisted Fate, I guess, in the mid
I
lane.
don't really enjoy being the weakest person on the map the whole game, but like, you know.
like being level 1, 3.5 minutes in.
I'm just gaslighting you right now. Yeah, lots of top lane.
So the reason why they do this, I think, this is actually a clever adaptation from FlyQuest, is that even if they've stayed, remember, Quad is the one who actually has levels, and so he's a lot less vulnerable than a level 1 TF under turret in case they have stayed and are going to dive. So that's why they kind of, I think, leave the Twisted Fate in the mid lane instead, especially if they think that Trist is backed. Like, they think that Trist is going to back here, but they basically see the TP on Corki, and it changes their mind. So Palafox actually stays because he knows probably he can bully the Twisted Fate a little bit. They also obviously don't have TP on Twisted Fate because you don't run it on top TF. So this is a pretty smart on-the-fly adaptation from FlyQuest. Their early games, I think, have generally been pretty good in terms of like game sense and macro.
Sending the Corki top because he has TP. I was actually wondering how they were going to get out of it because TF running all the way to top lane with no TP is really hard. So they send Corki top, and now TF's laning against Tristana. So it'll probably be like more mid prio for NRG and more top prio for FlyQuest here.
So after we got done with the initial silliness of the lane swap and the massive waves crashing, it was 2.5, almost 3 full plates taken by FlyQuest here in the bottom lane.
What season was it the lane swap was so dominant? Like season 5.
There's still just a little sliver of HP remaining on it, and that's kind of those damage reduction nerfs that you were talking about, making it
2015
strategy to work for the team who sends their bot lane towards the top side. Just one more auto attack from like one champion probably would have taken that, but unfortunately for NRG, they don't get it. So now they're a couple of plates behind.
Ooh, Contracts comes in, able to get the smite and the Q there for a couple of the small ones as well. making use of the
Not a
bottom
single
lane
play
push.
top
You
side.
have the Alistar coming with you again. It's just
Yeah, but
so
they've kept the
scary,
TF down
for the
okay.
other side.
Although TF is
Well,
now getting a bunch of farm into the mid lane. And they avoided the level 1. I mean, you guys have to just look at this differently. Like, the TF did get denied, which is their point. I think FlyQuest just played out this scenario very well by putting the Corki in topside temporarily.
Let's get his cam up here. Huh? Where's the cam? Oh, that is a picture. That is a picture of enjoyment.
Just living his best life up here.
I think it's the shoulder positioning there really looks relaxed.
He's kicking back, man. He's along for the ride. Oh man, lane swaps are something else. Palafox versus Whippo back in the mid lane. Obviously the farm advantage there for Palafox, considering he's actually...
I mean, I wish they would talk about this lane swap, because this lane swap is actually pretty different from a lot of the other ones that I've seen since the strategy came back. I think FlyQuest is playing this out very nicely. I think they're playing this really well.
And we have seen a couple of unfortunate cannon minion misses from Quads Tristana in both previous games. A couple of -1s. Looks like Palafox not going to be committing the same sins here in game number 3.
Yeah, and this is the power of the Ezreal right here into the Alistar, where he's actually 1v2ing bot lane and crashing the wave while Leona's topside getting the grubs. So while they did swap out of the early kind of the worst time of the lane is like that 1, 2, 3 levels. It still is really hard for them to play the game because Alistar is kind of stuck bottom and he's really not able to do very much.
Yeah, so FlyQuest, I mean, they're kind of happy actually with it, even though they didn't abuse the very beginning of the early levels. They still get to move on up for grubs on grub spawn. Pre 6 minutes, already heading up there.
Whippo's hair is long enough to be a Yankee brim. He does look like he's wearing a hat.
He's got flash, he's got arcane shift. So when
Look at this. Because his hair's so curly that his headset's keeping it down, so it gives him this crazy poof in the front.
Ezreal here, Masu, he's got barrier, he's got flash, he's got arcane shift. So actual 1v2, he's like, don't worry, I got bot lane under control. You can go up there to the grubs to guarantee Busio that we're able to get those grubs for Inspired. And then we got a little party waiting for him though. Huhi, the other support, is getting a little sneaky.
Yeah, Contracts knows the timer on these chickens because he stole the last one away, and it just means that it's so easy for Huhi to
then.
wrap around, make the punish.
I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, Contracts knows the timer on these chickens because he stole the last one away, and it just means that it's so easy for Huhi to wrap
Nice trap by
around,
NRG.
make the punish. They know that Inspired is hungry for chicken, and they're ready to give him a vegan menu.
Yeah, I mean, really good setup by NRG. Just
It's a good line from Captain Flowers.
Getting the Diana ahead, it's only going to get worse for the Zyra as this game goes along. Every time Contracts finds him anywhere, he's just going to have to run away. So I think like the game is in a really good state for NRG, like considering the state of the draft and how hard.
Licorice, my guy. The game is not in a good state for NRG. The game is not in a good state for NRG. Look at this. This right here, let's talk about how the lane swap was smart and Whippo got a bazillion advantages.
Yeah, I mean, all of the setup for that play.
The lane
was
swap
so
didn't
good.
work.
Then you're inspired, you're walking over to your brush. Like,
They
"All
gave
right,
up
take
2
your time," and then
plates
Cal pops out
and
from
they
behind,
figured
and
out
it
a way
jumps
to get
over from
Whippo
mid
farm.
lane right onto your head while Contracts just ults you right in the face. Instant deletion. So, yeah, that's a little taste of what they're looking to do later with the push. Meanwhile, that Kaisa also then able to push in this wave, get the reset off. So FBI here now level 6 as well, so can join some of these plays that do break out when you're looking for your skirmishes around the river. Again, the river between mid lane and bottom lane, I feel like just should be packed with action in this game.
Yeah, and also while Ezreal is a really strong pick early into these champs, it's only going to get scarier for him as the game goes on. Like at a certain point, once Kaisa gets enough items, she can just ult on him and kill him instantly. And it's only going to be like harder with the Diana also going in there with the flash ult.
Oh yeah,
just all the dive from NRG.
Yep, the dive very scary. So what FlyQuest want to do? Try and spread the map a little bit.
Thank you, Voodoo Child, for your Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate you. Not like all you bum-ass freeloaders. Voodoo Child contributes to the MonteCristo stream.
Let me ask you guys, how do you want to see Whippo use these ultis here early on with a Twisted Fate? What's going to be the biggest value play to get out of them?
I mean, I don't think it actually matters who his target is. I just think he has to kill somebody. Like, I think like the longer the game
you're definitely not a freeloader, Jerky's minion. You actually subsidize the freeloaders.
He does have a sizable CS lead. I'm not sure how much of it is actually from laning.
Just a bunch of freeloading trash raccoons on my stream.
Why did Inspired early smite that Raptor? He didn't.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Look, from a jungler to jungler, I don't know.
Yeah, Licorice was giving his good explanation. And I'm like, my jungle brain.
Why did he smite the chicken?
It was so early.
Maybe he was angry about the last one.
And I was like, yeah,
burn him down.
It was something about what happened last time. Like, yeah. Then so contracts there from the brush, still able to secure. Not only is contracts.
You subsidized Maui's raccoons this week. That's very nice of you, Jerky.
He didn't die and remained the champion, but he's also king of the Raptor fights here.
Ooh, Quad. Not afraid to get aggro here on Palafox. Does miss that last rocket, which would have made the trade feel really good, but it is still enough to force Palafox back. For now, Whippo continuing to just put some damage into this top lane turret. By the way, you can still see the number on the map for that top lane tier 1 on FlyQuest's side.
Yeah, it's okay though. NRG is crushing it while they get 1,000 gold down the top side. Oh, snap.
Yeah, I will say.
Shane Watson. Thank you for the membership over on YouTube. I appreciate you.
That one generally doesn't happen unless TF has made
The gap is closing.
But definitely does feel bad.
It was not.
Just keep looking.
Spoiler, the gap was not closing.
Well, we're on the timer for our second spawn of Grubs onto the map, and Contracts wants to make his visit mid first. Go for a little mid-prio gank and then transition up there. Meanwhile, Huhi actually took the long route and wrapped all the way around top side. So they're eyeballing both solo lanes, and this could be an Alistar Hex flash over.
Yeah, Huhi wanted to make the play there. Whippo recognizing that if he gets headbutted back in the Dokla, he's in some trouble. But now FlyQuest is making the moves on Palafox. They lock him up. Palafox.
Right, this is the power, guys, of the Twisted Fate, is creating picks with these compositions, right? And so you're able to use the Destiny Gate in order to make this play. Because you know they're going to be there because they have to try and take these grubs. But see what happens. They should just back off. Ezreal's taking plate spot side.
He's ready to go for the flank. Kaisa flies in and FBI up the grubs.
All right, this is super sloppy. Like, why are we still here? We have no eyes on Kaisa whatsoever.
As Huhi wants to hex flash over the wall, he might just hex flash into the waiting arms.
Nice play by Huhi.
Kaisa flies in and FBI is ready to kick these guys' doors in. Contracts kills Whippo and Quad flies away back underneath the tier 1 turret.
The call had already been made, so you just need to back off your FlyQuest there.
To get the rest of these grubs.
Yeah, I mean, a few really cool things happened there. I mean, it was a really good heads-up play. Whippo knew he was getting ganked. He instantly pops his ulti and then...
Nice all-in by Palafox. They're trying to counteract with a TP in the bot side. Masu has barrier. Oh!
He instantly pops his ulti and then looks for the target that is going to be isolated because NRG set numbers top.
Whoa, Masu with the barrier.
The barrier.
Trying to get away from Palafox. Palafox wanted to show up to defend that turret. They still lose it, and he misses out on the kill on Masu. The barrier was the X factor to keep the Ezreal alive.
Yep, and the flash at the end, too. I was watching that bot lane story during the whole setup on top side, because I'm like, the Kai'Sa's walking from base. They are trying to force this. NRG is trying to force this because they know they've got their AD carry. Meanwhile, Masu was pushing down the remnants of that tower the whole time. Everyone was walking around Grub. So I was expecting NRG to actually get more on the top side since they were going to, commit Kaisa roaming over there and ulting in and stuff. But because of that early Twisted Fate ult, that FlyQuest were able to kill off Palafox first, they actually got quite a good start. So here's number 2.
Yeah.
Let's see. The one Mystic Shock misses, but it doesn't matter because Masu is able to flash away. And then that distance, Palafox actually tries to jump through the air. And because Quad is there with the damage, before the damage of your rocket jump landed, he's like, just one little bit more damage, don't jump. Like the time that it takes to buffer and jump through the air.
Yeah.
And then he goes down. Yeah, so close.
Yeah. No, it looks like all coaching staffs were upset about that.
Everyone.
I'm not totally sure what
that we just had.
Whippo was happy. Whippo was popping off.
Yeah, Whippo made a really good play there. And then it looks like NRG, or FlyQuest, their response to, they had 3 grubs already, so they're like, Masu, just get ahead. And then he got a free extra kill.
Contracts making the move here, tries to dive onto Whippo. Huhi ready to flash forward, follow this one up. The twisted fate is not long for this world, and it's Huhi taking the kill.
Yeah, they can make a cross map though. Just take Dragon, it's all right.
But with energy pushing into this top
Very
lane,
late first Drake this game, thanks to all the lane swap shenanigans.
On this top lane tier 1 turret, he'll definitely get the 4th one. I don't know if there's enough time left to be able to secure the 5th. Explosive charge, still putting in a little bit of work here, but I don't think he's going to get that last one just quite yet. Still attacking it all the way to the very end.
They get all the plates on the top side though. That's pretty good for Palafox.
9, 8.
He's still trying to play back from behind though, because he lost a lot of farm compared to Quad. And he also doesn't have any kills.
Just barely missed out on it.
This is the same tower that triggered your OCD with the turret plate.
Quad can W over wall.
By the way, it's the exact same amount
Nope.
that was left on the plate.
This thing is trolling.
Oh my God, inspired though.
Same tower that triggered your OCD with the turret plate.
Hui just doesn't have ult right now, so Inspired's able to just get the Strangle Thorns from over the wall. And look at that too. False Bomb provides MR Shred. Woo. That's amazing. Now they get tier 2 localized gold onto Quad, maybe? No, FBI's there.
Distracted by the damn turret, and Dokla and Huhi are both dead. FlyQuest 4-3.
I actually like plays like that where you let the tower local gold kind of go into the dirt after if it's so close to going down, and then you like deny a little bit, even though the enemy team gets the gold now that for the global gold, denying some of the local kind of cool.
Yeah, I always think letting the tower die like that is good. And it just looked like NRG got a little hypey in the bot lane. Huhi came behind him, they tried to force the fight, and it turned out terribly for them. So we're going to be on the back foot a little bit here.
Yeah, it's interesting that they try and force this play because, they just made this play topside, right? And they have no idea where the Zyra is. But if they're not defending topside, the Zyra is probably on the invade bot side in your blue side jungle. It's really surprising they would go this deep after this, especially in the Alistar ult.
It's the exact same amount that was left on the plate.
This thing is trolling you, Flowers.
This story has lasted the whole early game. Meanwhile,
CD with the
They did see the Zyra? I don't think so.
Hacking it all the way to the very end. Maybe he will. That's a lot of resistances on it. Hold on, 10 seconds. 9.
Oh, they did. They actually knew he was here. They see him. You're right. They see him on the ward.
But I'm focused more on this turret. 5, 4,
That's even weirder.
3. Nope. Just barely missed out on it.
This is the same tower that triggered your OCD with the turret plate.
Look at how much health it lives by the way. It's the exact same amount that was left.
I actually have no idea why you would make that play then.
This story has lasted the whole early game. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, it's problems for energy. I was distracted by the damn turret, and Dokla and Huhi are both dead. FlyQuest 4-3.
I actually like plays like that where you let the tower local gold kind of go into the dirt after if it's so close to going down, and then you like deny a little bit, even though the enemy team gets the gold now that for the global gold, denying some of the local kind of cool.
Yeah, I always think letting the tower die like that is good. And it just looked like NRG got a little hypey in the bot lane. Huhi came behind him, they tried to force the fight, and it turned out terribly for them. So we're gonna be
This is still the first series being reviewed. Yeah, I haven't done any of the LEC games yet.
Have more control of the map.
Yeah, it's looking very good for FlyQuest, I gotta say. Having Quad and Masu be the recipients of some of these early kills is exactly the state of the game that they want again. Much more similar to game number 1 here, but Ezreal on
FlyQuest's doing a very good job of just keeping mid pressure in both the games they've won.
The double trinity's done here. They're able to take over vision control of the enemy jungle as well. Notice
Tries to use the ulti there on Quad, but it ain't gonna get him a whole lot. Whippo with the red card over the wall, only finds Huhi. Solar Flare, accurate enough to get the full stun. Huhi's trying to get away, but he cannot survive the damage from
Palafox just steps up into a gold card. What are they doing? What are they doing?
This move towards bottom's happening. I mean, jungle as well. Notice all of these.
What are they doing? They're just walking into the pick comp one by one.
FlyQuest already know that this move towards bottom's happening.
So Contracts just blows his entire load, doesn't even get Quad to half.
So deep into the energy.
They disrespect the TF ultimate.
This move towards bottom's happening.
Contracts tries to use the ulti there on Quad.
Whippo has red card. Not ideal, but it's okay.
accurate enough to get the full stun. Who he's trying to get away, but he cannot survive the damage from FlyQuest.
Dokla just gets rooted and then chain CC'd and then flashes and then dies.
Dokla, one more rocket will take him down, but it's Mystic's shot to get the kill credit. As Contract still has to run. Energy again trying to make some kind of a move, but it's FlyQuest who respond better.
And FlyQuest have full info to respond. That's the reason, like these super deep wards, they see them walking down to the bottom side and they're like, Whippo, oh yeah, they're walking right to us. Get ready, buddy. Pop the Twisted Fatal.
I don't understand why. So remember, they just died on the bot side of the map there, and they're blue. Like, the vision control is so much better on that side, so it just gives them every opportunity to pop TF ult and then intercept them.
Trading it for the dragon, and then they die bot lane. They're setting up the vision so Palafox can get the push out, and then they just like go in too far in the enemy jungle. So it just feels like they just feel a little like over eager, or like they're all trying
They
to
just
force
died
too
there.
hard, which is something that can happen when like plays haven't been going your way.
Masu still just shoving up here in the mid lane, still unafraid of who he and FBI.
Ooh,
Arcane shifts
the wrong way.
right in.
Haven't been going your way.
Masu still just shoving up here in the mid lane, still unafraid of who he and
He literally ease in,
Arcane shifts
then flashes.
to him. I don't think that was ideal.
All right, NRG trading Masu for the Rift Herald. not bad for them.
All right.
It's part of the mental game.
Guys.
Trading. They're all trying to force a little bit too hard, which is something that can happen when like plays haven't been going your way.
Masu still just shoving up here in the mid lane, still unafraid.
My favorite part is that he uses the flash afterwards.
Energy trading Masu for the Rift Herald. not bad for them.
All right. They'll hit you.
Can't wait for them to eliminate 2 more of these LCS teams. They deserve to die.
My opponent in a 1v3. I'm like, yeah, you're terrorized up in the brain, aren't you?
He was 1v2ing them early on in the game. And now he's just asserting dominance. You're not just gonna kill me. I'm gonna jump right into it.
This isn't your play. This is my play.
Exactly. Take control of the situation, Flowers.
Today I learned this is.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, NRG is going to have another chance with the Masu kill to set up on the map here. And looking at items, it actually looks really good for them here. Like, despite being down 3k gold, they're actually up completed items in a lot of roles. So I think if they're able to find a fight in the next few minutes, it should be really, really good for them.
Yep, 3,500 gold lead for FlyQuest. Only that one Drake taken so far in the game. Very slow Drake game here in number 3 of this series. Masu trying to just not get himself in any extra danger here. He knows that Energy dudes like to hang out and try to beat this Ezreal up as a team.
They're TVing behind top lane.
Yeah, Quad's now going to be your target.
This isn't me.
My monitor is frozen.
The game froze.
The noises. Okay, looks like Dokla's actually dead to Quad, so Quad gets one back here in the 1v2 trade.
Yeah, that's really good. That's good for Quad.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, you'll take that. You'll take that. If you're Energy, that's not very good. You are not super happy.
You got Palafox's TP out of that too, and still trade 1 for 1 end. You got mid turret, and you're gonna get Drake off of it.
It's like the same thing.
And you got bot tier 2, local gold on TF. TF 2,700 gold ahead. Okay.
They go for the top lane, it doesn't work out, and they just like lose everywhere.
Energy's down almost 5,000 now, man. 5K at not even 19 minutes into the game. That is really tough for Energy to fight back against. Pretty much any fight out in the open, not underneath the turret, or without an incredible engage angle from Energy is going to be almost impossible to win.
And FlyQuest are really well set up to spread the map right now. Whippo double summoners on Twisted Fate are available. His ultimate is available, so let's see how FlyQuest can continually increase this lead. So let's take another look.
Let's look at this very exciting play that goes on.
Was live or not, but we saw the
Honestly, if Dokla doesn't ult there, I think maybe Quad just, because the thing is, why does Dokla need to ult this, guys? He actually gives up all his resists, makes himself squishier, I wonder if he doesn't
And
ult
this
if he's
is
tanky enough just to survive while Palafox kills Corki.
Hellbar just completely drains every single time he goes near this Corki. Quad's damage is over the top right now. With Trinity Force and Infinity Edge both completed, this guy hurts.
That guy hurts. The Cassante guy definitely not hurting.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't hurt that much. He just has a blue glove. He's not that, he's not swinging hard.
The Twisted Fate advantage over there in gold pretty massive as well. So let's see the push in now, because topside they are already able to push up minions to the tower and rotate through the jungle. Looks like even the harassment starts to come through. Whippo sent bottom to go collect the wave that Dokla has at least pushed up to secondary though.
Yeah, I mean, Whippo used his turn to help his team get control, and now this Baron, especially with Desire, is just going to get really scary for NRG. They constantly have to walk in and check this, and it's just going to be like up to FlyQuest to make the picks, or start the Baron, or like make something happen.
And I like the fact that you mentioned the picks, because two big of those playmaking items just came online. Inspired with the Rylai's, Rapid Fire Cannon on Whippo. Both of these can be very effective in securing kills, and otherwise you would need just that little bit more to get them.
Yeah, they have item leads in a bunch of lanes. Almost all lanes with item leads right now, 2-to-1 completed items. And then even support has completed item advantage with the Warmog's extra move speed coming in for Busio as well to look for picks. 2 item spikes are on both of their carries here. Well, all 3 of them, all 4 of them even.
Well, the other thing that I am looking at, across the table at least, the Seeker's Arm Guard for contracts. This is going to let him go in and make that explosive engage without worrying about being instantly blown up by Zyra Roots into TF Gold Card or Leona or whatever. So if contracts can get a lot of value out of his Seekers, there is still that huge engage potential win condition for one of these upcoming fights.
Yeah, NRG right now just trying to keep farming kind of safely towards towers while playing the dangerous game of keeping enough vision over Baron that you can contest with that all-in play that you're talking about, where they full send it and try and get a full engage if a commitment towards the Baron actually does occur, but towards mid, then you still can hope for that big explosive engage.
Dokla wanted to see if maybe Whippo would just get a little bit too aggressive there, trying to attack contracts as he went for the ward, but it doesn't happen, so no potential.
Right, I guess we're just going to play around Drake stacking for FlyQuest right now.
FlyQuest still up 4,500.
Oh my god.
Trying to attack contracts.
Why are we invading when TF is on the bot side and his ult is up?
One play for the Cassante and Diana against that Twisted Fate. FlyQuest still up 4,500 gold as Contracts loses his flash. As soon as you see that TF ulti above you, you know you might be in some trouble. Who he flashes for the pulverize, but the headbutt ain't gonna find anybody here just yet. Whippo finally gonna be knocked forward, and Contracts goes on a rampage, grabbing the first kill.
Oh no.
Here just yet. Whippo finally gonna be knocked.
Contracts goes in, his ult doesn't do anything though.
First kill. Quad takes one out, but he's going to be traded back now too. NRG have found themselves a good fight thus far, and Busio's going to be your next target. I
don't know why, this is the thing about Whippo is like he tunnel visions super hard. Like why can't we just hold this W? Why can't we hold this W? It's a dub fumble right here. You get her flash. You know what I mean? But he's like, well, I used ult and I already popped Ghost, so we have to go after this. I have RFC, guys. I've got the long-range gold guard. Here it is. But instead, he just gets flashed on. I mean, he needs to flash that pulve, right? He needs to flash that pulve. The pick is over, but you force flash. So what you do is you just make another pick play onto Diana later.
They try to launch Cassante forward for the third in Tofo strike, but he does not find the knockup. Inspired still slowing these guys down here with the Rylai's. A little bit more damage.
Nice job.
It's true shot barrage to even up the fight. 2 for 2.
Is Hui still messing around back there? The Alistar is still in Fog of War. Alistar's... Ooh, Ezreal's too far away.
Nah, Inspired's still full HP.
Topside, Fog of War advantage for FlyQuest, so can't do anything. But I kind of like that. He's looking around for these comeback possibilities, and that play starting out with another Contracts Raptor steal into Bwipo popping the
I think it's a big overextension by FlyQuest, though.
Where they're able to avoid the initial engage.
You absolutely just don't have to go in for this one.
Things here that were really interesting. Like first, Contracts actually ended up whipping his ult, which I think would have made a difference in the fight. And then Palafox FBI actually ended up whipping his ult.
He literally ults right here, guys. Oh, that's ugly.
A big difference in the fight. And then Palafox and FBI find a nice 1v2 onto Quad on the left side. But Quad actually manages to take out Palafox in the 1v2. So I was honestly shocked that the fight went this well for Energy, all those things considered.
And yeah, but then here, there's so much damage soaked up by Dokla. It's this root. Slows him down first, then hits the root. Man, the Rylai slow enables it, and then they just poke him down, and that Cassante immediately punished again. The starved top laner.
Oh boy, we ain't done yet, boys. Bwipo's in some trouble, trying to get away to the wall, maybe flash.
Bwipo had stopwatch. Do he have flash? Did he have stopwatch?
Send it and try and get a full engage.
Oh, you're saying contracts had. I was like, why would Bwipo have it? Yeah, contracts had stopwatch.
Tracks Raptor
A few things here that were really interesting.
Oh man.
again. The starved top laner.
Oh boy, we ain't done yet, boys. Bwipo's in some trouble, trying to get away to the wall, maybe flash out of this one, but he doesn't have any summoner spells. Palafox.
Where does Flash go?
Rocket jumps back over.
Nice for
Did he use flash during this fight? Oh, he does. He flashes. He literally flashes right before he dies to contracts. Instead of just flashing Pulve, he just wastes flash. That's like a really bad play by Bwipo.
Shocked that the fight went this well for Energy, all those things considered.
And yeah, but then here, there's so much damage soaked up by Dokla.
Nordic Kaiser. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub for 8 months. Just got back from 7-day Greek Islands cruise time. Ooh, that sounds delightful. I'm jealous.
Down, and that Cassante immediately punished again.
Time to watch some Banger League games. Well, you may not be getting those today, my friend. I'm sorry to say.
Trying to get away to the wall, maybe flash out of this one, but he doesn't have any summoner spells. Palafox finishes.
If only he hadn't wasted flash so in such a silly fashion.
FlyQuest is losing dudes, and they're losing them fast. Inspired has to try to get away back over the wall. They're not going to find him with a Void Seeker. Energy, they've traded 2 for 1. They got a 4v3 on the map, but their health bars aren't looking so great.
In any mainly PC esports game, the only game NA is really competitive in is Valorant. I don't think that's true. Rainbow Six, they're competitive. Rocket League.
For FlyQuest, they keep on with their extra range, poking down the last melee, trying to run away on the side of Energy.
Was this Bwipo's fault or was this Busio's fault? But they are walking into 2 enemy pink wards with no vision and then dying.
Palafox crucially got the critical or Kraken auto there to finish him off, or else I think this fight looks a lot different.
Yeah, that was really close with the proc. And then Dokla charging in on the Cassante, but they can't chase down the extra one, so then trying to run away.
Apex Legends, that's true as well. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of PC games that NA is good at.
Just throwing out rockets. He hit the rockets, all 3 in a row, and just blowing them up as they're trying to run away.
Yeah, no, these Corki rockets and these Ezreal Qs hurt a lot.
And I like the fact that you mentioned it was the Kraken auto from the Tristana that guaranteed the kill on Bwipo over the wall, because it's also the big one from Quad that kills off the Alistar. I think if it was a smaller rocket, he might have been able to live through that. Not 100% sure. But Palafox level 15 here on this Tristana, just only now hitting that level 15. Quad is almost 16 for the maxed out version of those rockets that you guys are talking about that are already such a huge problem for Energy to deal with.
Let's see here. Bwipo's heading over on the Twisted Fate as well. Maybe they're going to look for a push mid play here with the support of Twisted Fate ult. It's kind of dangerous for Energy, so you can see them ceding ground around Baron. And FlyQuest trying to use their brute force timing to clear out some of the wards.
Okay, Energy's got Palafox and Huhi hanging around on top of a couple of control wards.
Dokla coming
too. They're not seen as Masu and Busio will chase FBI and contracts back away from the mid lane. Gold card hits FBI. You ain't gonna kill him, but getting out that cleanse is huge. There's a solar flare to follow it up. They lock down the AD carry, but it's the top laner who pays the price. Dokla falls and Masu goes on a killing spree. That is a big frontline element of this Energy comp, no longer available, and FlyQuest sees their green light to start the Baron.
Yeah, I think that's a really crucial pick to find on the side of FlyQuest, because the last few fights haven't been going their way, and I don't think the game is
available, and FlyQuest sees their green top laner.
Cassante is so squishy still. He hasn't finished Jack Show yet. I mean, he's pathing in a very weird way, though. He literally sees this coming in, and he's like, I am going to walk into them.
There's a solar flare to follow it up. They lock down the AD carry, but it's the top laner who pays the price. Dokla falls and
it's a lot of damage, though, from 380 carries.
Frontline element of this Energy comp no longer available, and FlyQuest sees their green light to start the Baron.
Yeah, I think that's a really crucial pick to find on the side of FlyQuest, because the last few fights like haven't been going their way, and I don't think the game is going to get any easier for them as the time goes on. So looks like they're turning off the Baron and trying to fight here.
They're ready to turn it. Contracts goes in for the engage, and Palafox has already killed off Inspired. Whippo returns one to FBI as Contracts.
Why are we trying to go in? Why are we trying to go in on this? Whippo is just literally living in your back line for free. I mean, they turn off of this, and Whippo, I mean, they get the Zyra ult down, and Whippo's just free firing onto your Kaisa. He gets the fleet footwork proc off the gold card.
Quad still got about 200 HP. It's him and Busio. Whippo all just now turning back over onto the Baron. Quad still has his TP. He's going to go back into the jungle at the same time. He doesn't want to die to some random Baron puke. Now he rejoins. Now he's got some extra health. Now FlyQuest is wearing purple.
And this is all just because of that mid lane pick. You know, they get a tiny bit of chip damage there on the FBI, but it's gold card from the Twisted Fate that forces the cleanse, and then Dokla walks around, and so they get the actual kill on the front line, allowing for this 4v5 kind of advantage in the team fight. And again, Whippo doing a lot of work there. In this one, he takes down FBI as well, and then forces out the other character.
How's Whippo still employed? Look, he did well in that fight, guys.
Whippo in this fight, just dealing with both of those 80 carries. And again,
No support item, 27 minutes is crazy. He has Warmogs now. After that last fight, okay.
And who he realized he couldn't do anymore, so he had to run away. Energy now down 7,000 gold. FlyQuest, they are on soul point. They are going to have Baron all the way through the duration of this next Drake summon timer, so they can control the rift for the next 2 minutes, then immediately translate that over into a soul. Energy's job is tough.
Whippo's the dead man's plate. You see, guys, that's in case he doesn't get gold card. In case he fucks up and draws another non-gold card, he will still get a slow, right?
Certainly is. I mean, these Twisted Fate picks are so difficult to deal with.
He also hit like a truck on that first auto. He's like, wait. There's no other tank but Leona on the team? I'm the tank now.
Yep. Whippo there just creating so much offensive pick power, walking around threateningly. It's the Leona ultimate that does land at tower.
Oh, and FBI's already dead from the strangle.
Whippo there just creating so much offensive pick power, walking around threateningly. It's the Leona ult.
FBI just gets hit by a Leona ult, and then 100 is zeroed basically by Zyra.
Follow it up with another one almost on Dokla. 200 HP left on Cassante, but with the enemy carry dead, with the top laner at death's door, it's so easy for FlyQuest to just strong arm their way into this base. Mid lane inhibitor's already down. FlyQuest.
Man, what is NRG gonna do? This team is so trash.
Contracts here in the front. He's going to get stunned up before we can do anything. That first Nexus turret's still in trouble. Whippo having a flash away as he would have been in a really bad spot there from the headbutt out of the Alistar. Busio underneath the turret looking to tank up that aggro as Whippo goes on a killing spree. And there's another one of those huge playmakers for Energy no longer in the picture. Dokla trying to stay alive, but this is the squishiest Cassante I have ever seen. Quad don't care, and Energy are on their last legs. Contracts again with the stasis, just trying to make some sort of a last desperate attempt, but it ain't gonna work. FlyQuest bringing back those reinforcements here with a TP as FBI respawns only to die. Palafox wants to get on out. Quad needs one more rocket. He's still chasing. It doesn't even matter that he doesn't get it because the Nexus is under fire.
You feel bad for Palafox? Why? He's been playing badly.
Lead 29 minutes into the game, win the series.
Man, I can't believe NRG even won game 2 of this series.
Energy let the Skarner through.
That's crazy. All right, here we go. G2 Fnatic.
Do have some trends. They do like to get rid of things like the Tristana, I was about to say. Teams often like to ban Caps' LeBlanc.
Okay.
I wonder if Fnatic consider it a concern. Humanoid, we know how confident he is as a player. I'm sure he has things prepared for it. Right now, they're getting rid of the Braum. Does suggest some sort of engage. Maybe
Leona, early pick.
Priority though, things like the Leona, potentially Nautilus.
Yeah, it's interesting. Are we gonna just is Leona just first pick worthy blue side now? LeBlanc taken out for Caps. NIP loving to take LeBlanc first pick on blue side, but not Fnatic.
MSI really going to be the bigger point where we saw that pick shine through. Paired along something like an Ivern as well on red side. Ivern plus Tristana early. Ivern now going to get banned away. Would be a powerful duo, and Ivern one of those champions who, you know, in this metas where the games are going long.
All right, we're first picking Vi over here in Europe. That seems like a pretty big bit of a reach.
Yeah, the question is, do G2
Ash, play Ash.
away? Again, on this patch, Vitalia hasn't seen quite as much presence, just because
Play Ash.
Vi's been being banned. I think more.
I'd say they just ability to flex so many different champions.
Oh no, we're playing Sejuani Corki. All right, so you take the court. So Ash is just going to be left up. So there's Leona. That's why we banned Braum. So Talia Vi, classic combination. There's Caps' dad.
Leona paired with the damage that Talia can bring to the table. Want to go for something greedy like.
There's the Ash.
And then, well, crit item mobile Ash.
All right, so are we going to ban 80 carries? We're going to ban Callista here. They're going to ban Mickey's Poppy, but they really should ban Callista. Nope. It's Twisted Fate time. All right, play Callista Ash. Do it. Okay, Renata Ash. Very good control in that bot side. Ezreal on 14-12. Ezreal Leona. And it's Europe, so we're just going to play blind pick Zac top lane. And there it is, the Camille. Camille Sejuani, that is a strong 2v2.
I was going, I'm thinking, and then as he that's irritating. Yeah, the reason why I was thinking Camille was just because Sejuani Camille's top side is very strong.
But the thing here is, like, what happens when you go in? Right? What happens when you go in with Vi and Zac? Like, Renata ult is absolutely huge. Volley from Ashe is absolutely huge. Like, the disengage and peel from G2's composition is very strong. So they're 2v2 in mid. Like, this Vi-Talia combo is very strong. Once Vi hits 6, but even before, if you can get a good Q off, it could work in order to set up for your Talia W. This 2v2 is not as strong as, you know, Camille Sejuani, so we can assume that G2 is going to be more top/bot focused. And Fnatic is probably going to hard farm for 6 and then be more mid focused. But I'm not in love with the Zac, considering the amount of disengage that we see coming in from G2. Feels very difficult to dive their back line, even if you have Leona, Vi, Zac.
Push options that G2 have, it becomes very difficult for Fnatic to manage it when they've got a lot of exciting drafts from both our teams.
What part of what makes this matchup? That guy didn't have shoot. And I love the energy from both of the respective fan bases.
It's Fnatic versus G2.
Runes go down. It is Caps' 500th LEC.
500.
So before we get into the match, before there's any blood traded back and forth, everybody round of applause for Caps. Obviously,
I mean, the EU GOAT at this point, right?
The Western GOAT, I will say. We don't get to decide for NA, but I think they're going to have to agree with us on that one.
Yeah, it definitely is the Western GOAT.
He has become 500 games, and it's G2 versus Fnatic, the team that he made his name on.
He technically would have been the first mid laner in LEC to ever have reached 500 games, but he did that split bot, and it's ruined the numbers. So I'll have to check in again.
Yeah.
Because he's
like 70 odd games
there's like, you know, whatever for the bot lane games. So that kind of butchered what could have been a double record there.
Damn. And this is 100 times that G2 and Fnatic have faced off against each other.
How many wins, though? Impact was at 389. Well, my friend, let's look. Caps. We'll probably only be able to see. I'm not going to select his tournament, but he's 451, including Worlds. Now, obviously, that's inflating him probably quite a bit, but, you know, probably 50 or 60 of those wins came in international tournaments. You know what I mean?
The tagline, I think it does ring true. A lot of the times for these best of ones, it's sort of just a test. Feels oftentimes like a show match. It's a little bit about pride, a little bit about, you know, a perfect split.
You know, for the players, there's along the line. You know, even though there's just a best of one, like there's they talked about it on Euphoria, but also we know it from the players themselves. Fnatic would love that undefeated split, right?
Yeah.
Not even G2 in our new format have been able to go 9-0. So Fnatic to do that would definitely be a huge accomplishment for them, but also Fnatic.
Well, that's because G2 always just trolls in best of one sometimes. That's why they haven't gone 9-0. They're certainly good enough to go 9-0.
Sweeping their opponent, but
And G2, maybe they're known for a little bit of happy gaming.
Playoffs, and so far on the bot side of the map, G2 having that control, very much as you'd expect. This wave is in a very awkward spot for Noah and Jun. They seem to have overpushed it, and now Hans and Mickey are really kind of having their way with the 2 versus 2. It should slowly start pushing its way back towards Jun and Noah, but for the time being, they're just going to have to accept the pressure that Hans and
Impact lifetime 47,305. Yeah, it's impressive. Impact has played a lot longer than Cap says, though. Because Impact started as an AD carry player, like pre-champions. Wariel X76, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Is Cap still the best mid in EU? Yes. Absolutely.
Chilling in the lane phase, kind of an expected quantity, but making sure that Jun can't participate in Fnatic's early game is going to be a big boon if G2 can keep up this pressure.
Yike is pathing towards bot, which does make a lot of sense just because of the push that they do have. He wants to be in a position to cover, maybe even threaten a dive, but clearing out this vision, making sure...
Impact was ADC with Heart Jungle or something wild in 2012. His support player was called SBS. Back on that roster. Actually, don't remember if Heart was playing on that one or not. Tournament results. Let's go back in the history of Impact. All the way to the beginning. He was... No. Xenix Storm. SBS in Impact. All right, he was a support player. Horo was his jungler at the time. Back in the Xenix Storm days. SBS and Impact. So you can see right here, Nolja was a pretty good jungler at the time when I started casting. And then he switched to top side when he was on, for his last split on Xenix. He switched. And then he was on T1 for Champion Spring. He was picked up out of the top side. T1 bought the Xenix roster, right? No. Xenix continued playing in Champions.
Yike going forward, heal a bit of extra movement speed. Aftershock proc interrupted by the handshake. Jun gonna get taken down. One more auto gonna do it. Yike getting lower and lower. The bailout though. Yike's still gonna drop. They need to kill Noah, but they can't do it. Excellently played by the Fnatic AD carry to bring speed. Aftershock.
He and Hans are safe. Is priority number 1, and priority number 2 is looking for a kill.
Sums up available.
Volley goes down first just to provide some CC. Risk go in. Nice handshake. Well, they give the double buff over to Noah, and they can't actually finish this kill. Or can they? Nope. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm so surprised they went back into this. He still had his flash. He still had his flash up. He also hits level 3 off the minion wave that's crashing in. Oh, my God. Ooh.
Absolute perfection from Noah. Now Razork turns his attention to top lane.
Razork has to get the counter punch, has to get something back in his favor. Excellent play, the triple kill, but the interrupt.
Razork has to get something back in his favor? They just his team just triple killed bot side. What?
From Noah. Now Razork turns his attention to top lane.
Razork has to get the counter punch, has to get something back in his favor. Excellent play, the
what?
Triple kill.
What?
Get something back for his team. Tactical sweep will help.
Okay.
Blobs, but I don't think he has the cooldowns. Hookshot wall dive in, wants to finish off the Zac, but he doesn't quite do it. Is forced to flash out. Flash traded for flash, but still, we gotta go back. The triple kill for Noah. G2.
A massive blunder from G2, but just great execution from Noah. Yike, though he sees someone.
Leona and Ezreal diving them is definitely a choice.
Desperately wants his double buffs back.
Now Yike has to counterpunch. There we go. We got it right there. Okay, he gets a shutdown, gets his double buffs back. Hilariously.
G2.
Noah is pointlessly pushing out in the bot side.
G2, but just great execution from Noah. Yike, though, he sees him on a ward. He's trying to get something back.
No one trouble now. Desperately wants his double buff.
All right, then. So Yike is literally able to respawn, walk entirely down to the bot side.
G2. A massive blunder from G2, but just great execution.
Leona's just going to try and recall there. Meanwhile, he's recalling on a ward. And that's it.
Desperately wants his double buffs back. Please, sir. Those belong to me. Sadly, no flash. No way out. So.
Isn't that a visible ward? It's a zombie ward. Yep.
Desperately wants his double buffs back. Please, sir. Those belong to me. Sadly,
Yep.
no flash. No way out. So. Can't do it. Excellent.
See when that zombie ward went down.
Down and limits what Jun especially is an excellent handshake. A little bit difficult. Jun not at level 1, but obviously level 4.
They have lens. It's Mickey's on the bot side.
Has been leaving no.
He's right there.
Except now Hans and Mickey are really kind of having their way with the 2 versus 2. It should slowly start pushing its way back towards Jun and Noah.
Yep, there it is. So he uses lens right there.
But
by the Fnatic AD carry to bring it back. What?
Classic.
Mickey flashes.
And credit the time
Classic.
Is so awkward there because he hits it, but already the Zenith play is coming through. Now they're just going to flash
Jun
on
to
Caps.
fight.
Yike going in 2. They need a body block here. Raz are going to backstep. The TP's now coming in. Caps is getting lower. Bail out there, but timing on the handshake is so awkward there because he hits it.
Wave. Humanoid not forced to flash.
They said in the video there would be fighting, but
Whoops.
What? Handshake.
Mickey flashes.
He follows after handshake.
Because he hits it, but already
I'm so disappointed you're not flaming for recalling a visible ward. We did, on a visible ward. We did. We did flame him.
Yike going in 2. They need a body block here. Raz are going to backstep.
We even went back and looked at when the zombie ward was placed.
Fnatic just bringing the brawl to G2, outplaying them individually. Flash is spent across the board, but it's Noah with 4 kills.
And it's already a banger. It's only been 5 minutes, 8 kills. This is what you want to see. Caps leaping in before the minefield goes down. Aggressive trading in every lane. This is the most tower shots I have seen professional players take just for slightly positive trades in any game this season. Everyone is playing so aggressive.
I mean, it's Yike with the goal lead thanks to the shutdown he got onto Noah, but we don't even get to look at the bot lane play. We turn back our attention to mid. Mickey forced to flash out because this time Jun gets the Zenith blade timing. Flash with the stun.
Just flash Q's on top of him.
Forced to try and disengage. But look, they sidestep the engage from Yike and then they re-engage. And look at this flash Q. Because this time Jun gets the Zenith blade timing. Flash with the stun. Caps then forced to try and disengage. But look, they
I like how Razork just charges Q here, then flashes over to the side.
Q. Oh, perfectly played from Razork. He trades his life in exchange, but 2 members die on the side of G2 and Fnatic feeling good. Only a 700 goal lead for now. A lot of that sitting on.
Just some happy gaming from G2. Don't worry about it.
Turn our attention to our first objective of the game. Grubs are.
Sejuani's huge. Got shut down.
The HP bars. Look at mid lane. It's a scrap.
Caps out of mana.
Caps is playing incredibly aggressively in the mid lane.
Did he just get a biscuit? Ticked up in mana there a tiny bit.
But it's Razork first to start. And it should be the cross map coming out from G2. They turn their attention to the dragon. And what an explosive early game. We're only 6.5 minutes in. We're at 8 kills already. And the bot lane dive really setting up Noah for success. We think back to some of his incredible performances from earlier in the year. This man is already having a great split, but you put him in this position, he's just set up to be the carry for Fnatic.
He is. I mean, 4-1. We know what Noah could do with these kind of resources. An excellent split against stepping away, removing some of the pressure from outside opinions. But fun fact, guys, just a little light in the mood. Fnatic vs G2 reminder. 150,000 minions killed, 212 Barons, 342 dragons.
That's pretty cool fun, actually.
So much murder between Fnatic and G2.
This is why we.
What's their record all time? What's the head-to-head record?
Why the people here in the audience are so excited? We've just been doing this for a while.
Yep.
Must be like 2/3 G2 wins.
If we have the timing one too, I learned recently that if you were to watch the entire Lord of the Rings Extended Edition 5 times, you no, 5 times, you still would not have watched enough footage to match the amount of Fnatic G2 that we have had over the years.
Got it at the bottom.
That's funny, actually.
53 hours.
58 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's counting up.
It could just continue to count up. I don't think we're even including this game.
60-40 G2, including this game. All right, fair enough.
Oscar a bit of danger, but he's able to get away now. G2 bot lane, the one getting dived.
Knock up there. Nice handshake to delay the play, at least initially. Good stun, but Jun's still tanking crucially. Razor gonna get trouble now. One more op.
Danger, but he's able to get away now. G2 bot lane.
All right, now we're diving Ashe Renata Glask when Ashe has arrow up under the turret. Yep. This is a decision we're making.
He's able to get away now. G2 bot lane, the one getting dived.
Knock up there. Nice
Hans actually cleanses out of that.
Good stun, but Jun's still tanking crucially.
Ooh, that arrow, that turret is super charged up though. All right, well we're just inting back. Great, nice.
To extend the play, at least you and Lost Star.
Oscar in a bit of danger.
All right, so we're diving this. We're diving a Renata. We're diving a Renata and an Ashe. So we telegraph this super hard by charging ViQ. Which allows Mickey just to tank the ViQ, surely, right? No, he just misses. Razork just misses. Okay, so we sidestep the ViQ. We miss the Leona E.
I think we're even including this game.
So we miss ViQ, we miss Leona E.
Oscar in a bit of danger, but he's able to get away now. G2 bot lane.
So there's a miss. Right? There's a miss. And then we're taking supercharged turret, and we take an arrow to the face, which allows us to take... I mean, Jun takes the tower shot, but then Razork takes the next one when it's all heated up.
One more auto. Thomas slowing him down. Jun's getting run down as well. Oh, Fnatic over there. Betty, it's like a single weekend for you in Lost Star.
Oscar in a bit of danger, but he's able to get away now. G2 bot lane, the one getting dived.
Knock up there. Nice handshake to delay the play, at least initially.
Yep, we just missed all our skill shots.
Crucially, Razork gonna get
Oscar in a bit of danger, but he's able to get away now.
Hans does get Q stunned here by Leona, but then he just immediately cleanses it and walks away.
up there.
So that's why everything misses.
Play, at least initially. Good stun, but Jun's still tanking crucially. Razork gonna get trouble now. One more auto. Thomas slowing him down. Jun's getting run down as well. Oh, Fnatic over eager to extend their lead. They fumble the play, and they give two back in return.
Caps with some nice rockets in the mid lane, but G2 hand kills over to Noah in the early stages, and Fnatic hand them right back. Handsummer now finds himself at 3-1-0. The dives are just not going the way that they want. Yike is looking for a dive in mids.
The Razork is here. Yike's only level 5. He's gonna walk in. He has to commit fully for the play, but he might die in the process. Jun walks up. Zenith Blade. Yeah, that's
He's
a dead
gonna
pick.
shut that down. 400 gold for Jun. Nice positioning for him for at the very least get something back for Fnatic.
6 to 6. Grubs traded for Drake. This game's dead even.
The gold is dead even.
I don't see anybody walking here. It's just violence.
Now something back.
But he might die in the process.
1-0. The dives are just not going the way that they want. Yike is looking for a dive in mid.
He's not level 6 yet, so he can't just like Q and R over the wall at the same time.
He's gonna walk in. He has to commit fully for the play, but he might die in the process. Jun.
Dude, they keep getting... Jun just being in mid lane is fucking them up. This is the second time they fucked up just because Jun walked mid.
Nice positioning for him for at the very
Why is
least
this a
get
banger? Am I here to suffer? It's trash only today. Look, I thought G2 versus Fnatic. If anything was going to be a banger in LEC, this would have been it, right?
Listen, we all love Lord of the Rings, but
all I'm saying is a lot of those movies are just hobbits walking. I don't see anybody walking here. It's just violence.
Now, I'm not going to step on the toes of Lord of the Rings, of course.
Yes.
Great.
Tolkien, streamer and author, very talented, but
G2 so far, along with Fnatic, delivering here in our regular season summer matchup. Again, Fnatic are locked in our top 8 with a win for G2. They would also lock a spot in playoffs to join SK and BDS in our top 8 of summer, which means that the spots could get very low very quickly.
I'm so tired of this Fnatic lineup. Yeah, me too. I'm over it.
Mid again.
get tougher, but flash forward.
It just feels like they can never beat G2 ever. You know what I mean? Like, they're just their ceiling is just never going to be high enough. Like, I like Jun. I liked his addition to this roster. And it's a nice gank there, but this is the setup that we're talking about, right? If this is such a difficult place to play mid lane, right? Because, I mean, you just flash. I don't know why he flashes after Vi ults him, though. Like, that's a mistake from Caps. You can't flash after that. I guess he thought Mickey X was going to come up and maybe help him. Does get the bailout, but...
This is what we expected with the draft from Fnatic. Very much playing through mid, a very extended their gold lead to 1k once again. Caps has been playing incredibly aggressively in the 1 versus 1. You look at the CS, Humanoid has been matching him dead even. Even with all this bullying and pressure he's been experiencing, he's been able to weather that storm and find the advantages thanks to the jungle support that he's been getting. TP now committed top side, Humanoid as he looks for a dive.
Nice ward timing from Broken Blade. We'll spot out Humanoid, but I don't know if it's going to save him. Hextech Ultimatum is there. It's all about timing it. Dodges the initial Zac Q just to make sure that there's no fall. Flash is back as well, and will just make it out. Going to be a couple plates over to Fnatic, and again, Caps in the meantime just trying to push in the wave. Really won't be able to get much
to their early game. Their ability to get early game leads has always been very strong. They're an aggressive team, especially thanks to their mid jungler and how Jun has been integrating with the team. Speaking of that aggression, I have to hold.
Grabbing the kill, 4-2.
Mid once again.
Dash in the ulti
There you go. Now we have level 6 on Sejuani.
Caps might be a little bit behind there, but now he's going to find himself the gold lead.
Now we can just QR in.
Nice gank from Yike. They knew that Humanoid had no flash, and they make the play look seamless. Now, he's up from Yike.
6 grub at 14, I believe 13 was the previous record. We're at 14, and we're not even 14 kills. We're not even at 14 minutes.
Nope.
We could probably break 20 if they really wanted to, but I think they're taking it easy now.
Bang going to be started off. Looks like G2's not in a great position to contest. Oscar on the weak side. It's going to be fine though. No real dive threat for him. The wave being pushed in bot by Humanoid. So some of the swaps have come through for Fnatic. I may have to hold my tongue here. Yike is looking.
Onto Humanoid. Mickey, will he get in range in time for the handshake? He does. Pulls back. Flick not going to hit on
Humanoid has no flash.
Don't have the chase potential. Once the arrow is down, that was their only real tool. Lead the Zac. Still doing really well on the top side into the Camille. Again, we've seen from Broken Blade and Brock where
God, I'm hoping this game isn't really long.
Right now, it's just been a lot of trading for objectives, and to be honest, if G2 want to, they can skip the next dragon, maybe try to prioritize the Herald instead. Basically, just allow more time to scale up. And teaming up once again. Broken Blade, as you already mentioned, is going to
All right, so we're here for more dives. We haven't enough failed dives this game, guys.
And Fnatic looks like they wanted to put a bit more pressure onto him. Razok Jun teaming up once again.
Broken Blade locked up at the
But he has Camille E, so it doesn't matter.
Razok tried to interrupt with the flash there, but doesn't quite get it. Pressure onto him. Razok Jun teaming up once again.
Ooh, Razork used flash too.
Razok tried to interrupt with the flash there. To put a bit more pressure onto him. Razok Jun teaming up once again.
I was trying to get on top of it, couldn't.
Razok tried to interrupt with the flash there, but doesn't quite get it.
The timing just a little bit off. You want to hit her once she has started. Once the hooks are into the wall and she started moving, you can interrupt her. If you try to hit her while the hooks are still flying, she will get pulled anyway.
But recognize what Fnatic has been doing. Every time they have a stacked wave with Oscar, it was a dive. They said Razok there once, they had Humanoid TP again, and then just now, they've been threatening a dive with 2 members. Just really great play around topside to try and keep Broken Blade down, while also funneling some reason.
It is good from Fnatic, though, because they push them off top, they trade 1-for-1 turrets, they get plates, and they get the Herald here. Oh my god, he stole it.
While also funneling some resources into Oscar to set him up nicely into the mid game. Level 11.
Razork didn't have smite. Why didn't Razork have smite?
The timing just a little bit off. You want to hit her once she has started. Once the hooks are in
What
the
does
wall,
he
she
smite?
starts moving, you can interrupt her. If you try to hit her while the hooks are still flying, she will get pulled anyway.
He smites right there. What? Why did he smite Herald now?
Every time they have a stacked wave with Oscar, it was a dive. They said Razok there once, they had Humanoid TP again, and then just
Why is he smiting now?
threatening a dive with 2 members. Just really great play around topside to try and
So here's the thing, is that Yike actually hits him with the Scryer's Bloom, so he knows he's there. So it is blind, but he knows that the Herald's going down. So all he has to do is just Q over this wall, and he has smite, so he just takes it for free.
Yike is there. He's going to waddle up. He's probably not going to be able to win the 1v1, but he might just be able to make his way out. How long on the cooldown? Flash over the wall. Humanoid going to try to follow. Flick that boar right back over. But the angle is good still. Coming through the bailout for Yike is there too. Broken Blade now in the midst of the fight.
Oh god, are we just feeding them now?
Trying to turn this back in.
Yep, we're just feeding Camille.
To do whatever he damn well pleases in the back line. But no, the stretching.
Oh wow, he got pulled back. Nice job, actually. That was very close. He's trying to stun the camp. Ooh. Kangas is doing Esports World Cup. I mean, what did you expect to happen, guys? I didn't even know who Kangas was until I heard him on the LCS. Why would he turn down the one opportunity he's going to get to do a League of Legends international event for a bunch of money? You know what I mean? Of course he's going to do it. He should do it.
Deal secures the objective, and we turn our attention to the gold once more. We find ourselves near dead, even a small advantage for Fnatic. But what more could you ask for? Nothing but a brawl between these two teams.
And Fnatic, good that they're able to get
Who is Kangas? I was told he was an NACL caster.
getting a freebie.
He was casting LCS. I had not heard of him before.
Oh, you're right. I mean, wait.
What?
I am unclear how much he saw there, but as far as I could tell, he did not have vision over the pit.
It might have been lingering vision. I didn't see when the ward got cleared.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Either way, he gets the steal, and I think this is a bit of an overcommitment from Fnatic, but this TP from Oscar is such a good TP, because the moment G2 overcommit, he's then there to split them apart. Notice what he's able to do, keep Hansama and Mickey from following up Broken Blade, and then he provides the utility to keep his support safe. Well played there from Oscar, 2 for 1 in favor of Fnatic.
Yeah, Q's over the wall, flashes, gets stunned, still has enough time left on the Q. Stretching strikes to pull back Broken Blade and keep Jun standing. Now Fnatic is trying to leverage their superior numbers. Mickey in trouble, likely to just die here. Tower will fall, supports to follow. No, not quite.
And then he is such a good TP, because the moment G2
when the ward got cleared.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Either way, he gets the steal, and I think this is a bit of an overcommitment from Fnatic, but this TP from Oscar is such a good TP, because the moment G2 overcommit, he's then there to split them apart. Notice what he's able to do.
The stretching strike actually does keep Jun alive too. Could have been a lot worse.
Keep his support safe. Well played there from Oscar, 2 for 1 in favor of Fnatic.
Yeah, Q's over the wall, flashes, gets stunned, still has enough time left on the Q. Stretching strikes to pull back Broken Blade and keep Jun standing. Now Fnatic is trying to leverage their superior numbers. Mickey in trouble, likely to just die here. Tower will fall, supports to follow. Noah not quite able to get the assist. Mickey gonna get the bailout. Noah gonna leap in, but Humanoid still grabbing the kill. Noah gonna grab an assist as well. And meanwhile,
Did I lose 2 turrets for it though?
But again, so close. 10 to 8 the kill score. Gold.
Losing mid is definitely not worth it.
This game is absolutely delivering.
Marek Brazda. 2-2-2.
Oh, I don't actually lose mid turret. Could have been bad though. Could have been very bad. If you lose 2 tier 1s just for that play in bot side.
80 carries are the ones with all the kills. Top lane, there's a 1.6k gold lead in favor of Oscar just because of...
Yeah, the thing, guys, like I said on the last Summoning Insight, like if you are League of Legends talent and you don't do international events, how the fuck are you ever supposed to get noticed to do Worlds or MSI? You know what I mean? Like, you basically have to take this and hope that your performance is, like, good enough and you get noticed. You're just never going to have a chance otherwise. You know, what are you supposed to do if you're an LPL caster, for instance? Riot hired 0 LPL casters for the last MSI that was in China. So what, you're supposed to just get paid shit to do LPL and then never have a chance to do an international event? Of course you should do Esports World Cup.
Still has to be careful again. He just can't be hit by a single skill shot, but now Noah leaping up, manages to land the Mystic shot. Right as I say it, but the fog not
Like, I think, I absolutely understand why these people will be taking these jobs.
Onto the engage, then Hansama with just great spacing means that G2 find themselves a kill and they open up the mid tower. Now they get themselves a small gold lead and the dragon is available for the taking.
Just back and forth, that it's neither side able to get a greater advantage. With the map continuing to grow, G2 knocking down mid is big, a tough task at this point in the game for Fnatic. See what they can do when G2 reset after this Drake, see what they can get back, because Broken Blade's already pushed in the side lane. The ulti, not going to do much. G2 happy to have their second Drake. Mountain Soul, big for either side, certainly.
So resets are going to come through.
And also, I think you might as well just go this year, because the thing is that everybody's going to take the Saudi money eventually. Like, everyone's going to take it. When MSI is in Riyadh in July of next year, everybody will take the money. Everybody will go there. So, whatever.
You can already see them moving into the river. They know they have a tempo advantage, but G2, now that they're back out onto the map, looking to try and contest them. And it's just this period of the game where it's a lot of back and forth between just control.
Ooh, pauses.
People liked for me, so instead I'll ask production. Earlier today we went to Twitter, we talked about favorite...
You paint a sad picture, Monty. The Saudis have already won. There's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do. The only people who could do something were the developers, who should have stopped the Saudi government from using their games because they control the licenses. But now that Epic, Riot, Activision, Blizzard, Valve, everybody has just said, oh yeah, you go ahead, you can use our games. It's over. It's over.
The Baron fight that was happening, G2 trying to, well, Fnatic trying to interrupt the
Incredibly Hillisang play, not a very reckless play.
Yeah.
But they brought out the best in each
It was
other.
literally just one of those, like, trust me, Big Bang.
Golf, it couldn't have been avoided, because the thing about golf is that they could just make Live Golf, you know, because nobody owns the intellectual property to golf. So, but the developers could 1000% have prevented this from happening by just refusing to give game licenses to the Saudi government.
Darius, what was the other one? Mectin, Darius, Olaf. Yep, that was it. Before there was gods, there was just Ord. That was it. Garen wasn't in the mix initially in pro play, at least.
Whippo Trundle Pillar interrupting Rizal and making G2 not qualify for
That's a ruthless callback.
That's so specific.
Hey, well, the thing is, if G2 weren't like doing well anymore as an organization, that would feel too ruthless.
That was the wait. That was that Whippo Jungle. Yeah, that was Whippo Jungle.
Yep.
Yeah. That was when they got Adam top, right? And that was also the Whippo running through the towers on Graves. Remember at Worlds, he was doing this crazy stuff. Anyway,
The devs just seem so naive by not seeing how the Saudis have swallowed up other sports. But the thing is, the devs always have control. Like, they can try and swallow this up, but it can be revoked at a moment's notice. So they have to play by the devs' rules. And the devs, guys, the devs are happy because the Saudi government is basically going to pay for their marketing expenses. So they still get all the benefits of the marketing with none of the cost. Of course, the devs love it. And the Saudis will never be able to tell the devs what to do. The devs can just revoke the licenses. It's actually a very nice play here on the ward by G2. So they get the pink ward down during the Vi Q channel, and then they actually get the handshake into the chain CC. It's all right. Yeah, nothing bad's gonna happen, you know. It's a really good pick play here. No has to cleanse the Renata ult, and then they just get chased down. It's just a 5 versus 4 face check. And, you know, you understand why they think they're safe. They get a pink ward down, so it denies that vision right now. But there's a pink ward on the other side, and then the just immediate action here. And the immediate TP. It's a good play by G2. Like, they immediately pull the trigger. It's very nicely done by G2. And Oscar doesn't TP. Right, Oscar does not TP. Hans flashing over the wall to play aggressively on Talia is also very good. So follow-up is there. Oscar has to TP, though. It's after 20 minutes. You can't just let them get that pick for free.
G2 have blown the game in their favor.
Excellent trap set here by G2.
Look at that, the handshake onto Razok, the chain CC, as you called it, Dracos. He didn't get to move. The follow-up engages in there, Oscar.
I'm not really sold on Vi in this meta, guys. It just feels like you just don't want to go in so much of the time. And you can't do anything pre-6, really.
And it's a one-sided slaughter in favor of G2. Look at this. Caps has ballooned to a 2.2k gold lead now. He's already working on his third major item. They have multiple side lane threats with the Corki and the Camille. Caps has the TP available, so they've sent him all the
With
way.
promo relegation returning, do you think it'll be similar to how it was previously with washed pros trying to mercenary a spot into the league? Maybe, but if those washed pros are capable of promoting, like, clearly they're the best option. So what do you want?
Don't really have to care
Like,
what should just be
are they washed if
trials
they can
for
promote?
Israel. Can instead push out with the
Doesn't sound like they're washed.
Looking to collapse. Solar flare, not going to slow Yike. Crucially, when the passive is up, need to hit the center or it's not going to do anything. Noah poking and Fnatic just backing away without Humanoid there for wave clear. It's a little bit tough.
You see Humanoid maybe setting up. Oh, he is a wall.
There immediately. They're going to pull the trigger and try to start a fight of their own. Mickey off to the side. Pullback is there. It's decent. Hansama in the backline versus Razork, but still the peel from Yike is big. Razork getting run down. Hansama starting to pop off, and the fight caps jumping in as well, and the ass just cannot be stopped. Hansama continues to step forward. Yike frontlining beautifully, but Oscar Reddit is there in the clutch, and again they didn't learn it, but they'll have to teach them the lesson again. Oscar and Noah hold the tower, and still they want to keep going. Broken Blade off to the side. Noah has to be careful. He can't get caught out by Broken Blade. He has to play flawlessly. He has the front line.
I like how Zach is just like the Europe pick. Nice handshake.
Good interrupt coming in. Mickey can buy a bit more time. He knows he's down. Or should be one more auto. Bail out there. But
He tries. I like it. I like he's like, can I get away with this?
G2 will get themselves a tower to round out the fight, but
I feel another C9 farming slots and selling them for free cash. You wouldn't be able to sell these slots. That's the other thing. You wouldn't be able to sell the guest spots. You could also just prevent LCS teams from participating in, you know, teams that could promote. You know, tier 2 basically.
The follow-up isn't quite there. It's a 4v3. They can't lock down Hansama. Mickey gets away with just barely any life. You think it's going to be a clean sweep for G2, but then watch this play from Oscar. Connects onto 3 underneath the tower. Slams them together with his Q, and then Fnatic still has enough damage with no.
He does gain like 2,000 HP back during that play though.
For 3. And Fnatic even got a dragon off the back of it, so they're able to stymie the Baron, and just like that, they've kept things interesting. The gold's still very much in the favor of G2 advantage. They showcase that they're
G2 have to be about stopping the backline access. It was only the Q from Yike, stopping the Vault Breaker from Razork, that kept Hansama alive in the previous fight. G2 have to keep playing these ones out as close as they can. Of course, got over eager in the back half, and Fnatic continue to be a threat despite the gold difference. Frozen Heart coming in. Noah just wants to be a little bit tankier. Obviously, just generally a solid Ezreal item, but will lose out on a bit of damage. High value, however, if he's ever close up against a Corki and Ashe, even the Camille. The 2 items now for Broken Blade only gets scarier. The setup is good for Fnatic, though. They've got the Wombo if they can find it.
Broken Blade setting up for a potential flank. Fnatic recognize it. They're not going to take the risk. Back away. Overstacking together. Humanoid does have TP. And Nido will, they love to keep him on side lane so that he can get what farm he can, but you look at that wave in top and it's just awkward. You'd have to overextend. There's a real risk of getting collapsed on in long lanes. Corki and Camille are really good at chasing you down. So
Any good book recommendations you're reading recently? I'm currently reading a book on the Ottoman Empire by Mark David Baer. I heard him on this podcast that I listened to called Empire, which is like a history podcast. It's called The Ottomans, Khans, Caesars, and Caliphs. That I think is quite good. I like his writing style a lot.
Incredibly good at leveraging wave control, at setting up around objectives.
Monty, would you co-stream Esports World Cup if they let you? Sure. But I'm not agreeing to any rules about what I can and can't say about the Saudis on my co-stream. So they won't let me.
An extra wave or two where Humanoid has been forced to play with the team, but now they're a very real deficit and they can't afford to fall further behind. This next Baron will be lethal.
I mean, just look at how strong this Corki is now. We already mentioned he was level 16 earlier, but Infinity Edge down the rapid fire as well. He's going to be hitting like a truck. The Camille kind of reaching that 2-item spike that many Camille players talk about. Ravenous Hydra with Trinity Force is kind of where she just starts winning in the side lane, 1v1.
Turns out Sustain very helpful against Azak.
What have you got to say about the Saudis? I don't like their human rights abuses.
Because they can send either the Camille or they can send the Corki. And so Fnatic's idea should be to try and attack one of these side lanes, see if they can find a pick.
I don't agree with authoritarian theocracies.
On the bot side, if Talia's wall wasn't interrupted, I reckon they could have killed Hansama. The initial play would have been very promising, but again, as you highlighted, it did get interrupted and things got a little bit messy for Fnatic. So they have the right idea. They know exactly what they need to do. It's all about making it happen. And
2 fundamentals. Fundamentally just need to make sure that they have decent setup around this objective, can't afford to skip any steps or get over eager. But G2 beginning to choke them out. They've got Camille consistently sitting on side lane. threatening this objective is Fnatic still just going to fish for a pick here or there. For now, they can be happy with just a mid lane tier 1. It doesn't look like G2 are really going to be able to contest. Hansama finally walks up to the wave, and Fnatic don't want to show enough members to force G2 off.
Fnatic really want to make sure the vision around the Baron is clean. Even if they lose the next dragon, it's not the end of the world. It just puts G2 at soul point, and then they can look to contest the next one. Fnatic definitely not completely out of this just yet. Humanoid wants to get a little bit more gold. Does he have the Crypt Bloom on base? Be a really nice purchase.
Ezreal onto the Baron, very telling. Fnatic, of course, no vision in the area.
Alright, so it's a big item pickup for Humanoid. At least he's been able to secure that, which means that Fnatic should have a little bit more damage in the upcoming fight. Dragon now.
All right, let's go.
Last Whisper is option 100% ideal.
Just kind of move into this mode of neutrality.
And this is
That's crazy. This game is just stalled out so hard.
Where people fist fight and you feel like you're having the time of your life. And now it's one of the most tense best of ones I've cast all year because it's so close.
Oh, and it's Fnatic to start off the dragon. They want G2 to come to them.
Good stun. Humanoid off to the side. Have to be careful. Again, TP coming in.
Asher still up.
1 or 2 autos might be all it takes. Jun pulled in the middle of the team.
Ooh, June has to flash out. Leona stun doesn't get a lot of value. Broken Blade on the flank. Oh, Broken Blade is a huge flank. Ooh, the hostile takeover so good too. That's what I'm talking about. Is the counter engage from G2 is so strong. Ooh. They used all their abilities. I mean, Ezreal hits nobody. We E in, but we come back on, you know, come all the way back. He gets the ult off, but he has to flash out, and he's like 1 HP. Meanwhile, the hostile takeover right into the choke point right there prevents any kind of follow-up, and Broken Blade's already on the flank. Very well played by G2. A lot of key abilities that's not effective there from Fnatic.
So scary once you reach at this point in the game. Single-handedly, he splits.
Does your tweet about House of the Dragon means a good show or just a lot less bad show? Well, I mean, if you didn't like the first few seasons of Game of Thrones, you're not going to like House of the Dragon. But I think House of the Dragon is a very good show.
Fnatic fall short, 4 members die, and the Baron is up for grabs.
Again, G2 so good at pulling back here on the initial engage from Jun.
Look at how much damage he takes at the start. He's forced to flash away, half HP already. Then the dive comes through from Razok and Oscar. But then on the backline, a great Renata ultimate as well.
The Renata ult's huge right there. Well, you and Doa covered on Nerd Legion? Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about this Wednesday. We're recording that one this Wednesday.
Got the hit was this Camille. And you look at Hansama, completely full health. Yes, Caps did take a lot of damage, but he was in no real danger. And it's just a clean, one-sided fight for G2.
And if we go back to the draft, one of the things we talked about was how hard it is to fight into this G2 composition. Now it's because there's a Camille on the flank in addition to the Renata. But for Fnatic, if they're not ones with set up first, if they're not the ones to jump on G2, find an isolated member, it's so difficult to win the ensuing fight because as long as Caps or Hansama or Alana,
oh my god.
Threat, the fight is not there. Now they'll try to take out Razor and try to then get a little bit.
Why is he flashing?
There, but not enough. Kill now going to get finished. Hansama continuing to step up. Oscar doing what he can to peel, but G2.
His flash actually just got Judd and Oscar killed too. Because if Razork just dies here, then Jun and Oscar don't die. You know what I mean? But because he flashes, and Jun's just right there, because then there's a flash that comes in from Hansama to kill him, and it's like, oh, Leona and Zach are here too. How convenient. Dude, the Acolyte is trash. We recorded The Boys last week, so that should be coming out too.
Some crazy fights, but it is G2 that will get the better of Fnatic today.
Full committal, but the Nexus is gone. Hansama, eyes on the prize, finishing that one out.
Oof.
Emotes to finish the job. G2.
All right, here we go. Last one of the day. SK versus Mad Lions. Did you like The Boys? I like the first 2 seasons of The Boys. It kind of jumped the shark in season 3, and basically at the start of season 4, they just undid all of the things they did at the end of season 3 because it was so stupid. So, whatever. It's like pretty mid. All right, quick break, guys, and I'll be back.
Opposition.
All right, here we go.
Small selection of the bottom teams.
Lost all my viewers. The dream.
Playoffs, so seeding is still important, but on the opposite side for Mad Lions Koi, they're just fighting to stay alive. Quite frankly, it has been rough.
It sucks for them that Rogue won a game today.
It really sucks for them. And again, 6 losses doesn't concretely mean anything.
Like, the thing about the boys, guys, is it's not even satire. It's just like, hey, this political stuff is happening. Let's just put it in there. There's nothing clever about it. You know what I mean?
2 games left, so the most you can get is 4 if you're Mad Lions. And 4 has been enough traditionally to get you into playoffs.
Well, and 4 at this point guarantees you at least.
All right, I love Mad Lions Koi just face planting. We ban Ivern and Vi because it's LEC. Do we leave Trist up? Of course we do. Of course we do. Do we leave Skarner up? Of course we do.
Dangerous place to be at, and 2 is the worst place to be at.
Nap, Skarner. We're gonna prioritize Corki over Trist. Wild take. So we just take Kaisa and Tristana. So then we counterpick ourselves, Mad Lions. So it's like we will take the Zeri into the Kaisa. Very good.
Thing that has been tough for Mad Lions this season is the thing is in winter that made them so good. Their early aggression, how confident they were, their individual mechanical abilities have kind of fallen to the wayside. It feels like they've been scrambling to put together that idea.
And yeah, I mean,
Braum, Alistair. So are we just taking Leona? So they're just taking Leona on fourth. Just ban Leona. No, we're gonna ban Poppy instead. So we're gonna take what? Cassante? Rel Cassante? Nope, we're taking Rel because it's EU. Oh wait, I guess we already took Skarner. We're not taking Cassante, so we're gonna take Diana. It's our second Diana game.
What? We want something to follow up with the Rel.
What is the idea here?
Well, so Diana, I mean,
It's super backline dive, right? Rel, Diana, Tristana, and Kaisa all can access backline. Zeri can't live. Zeri can't live, guys. There's not enough peel here. Like, what are you gonna do in top lane to provide peel? You know what I mean? Like, your jungle's already picked. Like, you can't play Mao. You can't play Renata. Because you picked Leona. So it's like, what are we taking in top? The Poppy's banned.
well, AP junglers to get buffed. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Round things out for Elyoya. It looks like that Mir went a
Oh, so it is actually top Sejuani, and they're going to take Brand. So what we're saying is we could have taken Maokai, or we could have taken Jungle Talia to provide peel, but instead we're taking Brand.
Not good. It has not looked good at all. I remember Humanoid rolled up on the stage last split try. It was bad, folks. And now I'm hoping that Isma has a different take on this particular champion.
Soup is the best ADC in the world. That's true. So he should be able to easily dodge all the abilities that are coming at him.
The problem with
Easily.
Diana, she is inherently quite squishy.
Yeah.
Even if you build things like Rod of Ages, like unless there's only
Have you recorded the episode for Magnolia yet? Yes, we have. It'll come out this week.
So she's kind of this champion that is kind of feast or famine, that she needs to be in a powerful enough spot that when the engages happen, she's strong enough to follow through and provide that damage in the team fights, because that's kind of all she can do. The idea of her resets are, well, they're not really resets. Her E is not something where she's like arena where you get a kill and then you just start popping off and stuff. She's all about. I would remember a Yankos Diana game, but
we're getting old now, Betty. Our memory fails us when we must rely on production, putting fun facts in the prompter.
But I am excited to see Elyoya back on Brand as well. We've been seeing him play a decent number of Sejuani games. Now he gets to play on that carry jungle role. Let's see what impact he can have on the map, being that extra VP threat.
Really enjoyed discussion of Dune and Dune 2. Also, your Acolyte review is hilarious. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Our shorts for Last Free Nation Culture on Acolyte are doing pretty well on TikTok.
See what they're cooking up right now.
How am I enjoying KT start to summer season? I'm fucking loving it, dude. Those frauds deserve to be destroyed.
They want to assure that Isma is free to clear through his jungle. Now, it is worth noting that when we talk about... So, Maokai or Sejuani, you can have either or. So getting to see him on Diana is a step away from what SK have been doing this split. But let's not forget when he joined the
Does BDD deserve it? BDD hasn't been good. They all look terrible.
Saw him on Champions where he was having agency. The whole narrative was about him and Niski working together, then building leads together, and then it just kind of shifted once they introduced this new bot lane. So let's see what he can do on the Diana.
Yeah, an opportunity.
The Acolyte is so funny, dude. That scene, the chanting scene where they're like, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many is just so bad.
Okay, you can have a carry, but if you don't carry, we're putting you on Sejuani.
Any advice for an international fan trying to watch an LCK match live? I have no idea. I've never been there. I have no idea how you get tickets.
Do you remember that? He was like, please Riot, nerf it. I don't want to play Braum jungle ever again.
Yeah. Funnel was not a particular...
Yes, I know they're doing a Penguin TV series. We will be reviewing it on Nerd Legion, no doubt.
Luan immediately tries to engage. Nice back step from Supa. Angle good, though, from Luan. Means he doesn't take any tower shots. Still a rough trade overall, but the Plasma proc coming in on a Supa. Make sure that he gets some good damage back.
SK bot lane being as aggressive as they often are, fighting for control over this bot lane 2 versus 2. doing pretty well. Still the biscuit advantage for Rahel, but those pots invested early. Irrelevant on Skarner. For those that don't know, Skarner...
Will you guys be reviewing Season 4 of The Boys? Yeah, we've already recorded that episode. It'll come out this week.
Pros don't care. They're going to keep playing him because of everything that he provides, and a nerf is not going to stop them. So he's going to have push in the early levels. I don't know if things are really going to shift for Meowin. I imagine at some point it'll get to just like tank versus tank, you know, and they'll just kind of chip away at each other, but no one is really at any risk of dying. So the top lane likely not going to be relevant until no.
Good word. It's hard. It's like when Amazing was in the league. We need to stop letting players name themselves after phrases that we could use in a cast.
Yeah, it's really true.
Regardless, a slow early game.
Imagine if your name was I'm the best. How awkward would that be?
Very difficult to commentate that.
It would be incredibly difficult. I'm the best with a pentakill.
Look, all I know is, of all the names we've seen, irrelevant.
I think Zyra's so much better than Brand at the moment because of the way she controls objectives.
For both AP junglers, not really too surprising.
No, it really just gives you some very good opportunities when it comes to like taking grubs, taking dragons, taking barons.
Context is Isma's been caught out. They're starting to fish. Elyoya ready to come in with a bit of CC. It's going to get hard for Isma. Thumbs up, but he doesn't see. There's a Leona on the way.
Yeah, it's the flash out.
Flash out. Not a bad trade for the side of MDK.
Great setup for MDK. They knew the Raptors were respawning, but Isma's doing a good response. He's like, if my Raptors are up, yours are also up. I'm going to make a beeline towards them, but instead he's going to go straight for the Krugs. He knows that those Raptors aren't safe. His top lane looking pretty good for Irrelevant.
Good burst trade back, but that's all the damage gone. Irrelevant just keeps shepherding him back, guiding him away, but the shield coming up, the suppression, ticking over.
What?
Burst trade back.
What is Irrelevant doing? Is he's like trying to bait Beerwin into this because Isma's coming? But he thinks his shield's gonna be enough, and he goes for the E, but he just dies to an auto at the end of it. What the heck?
2 days in a row, this man finds his 1v1 outplays.
Isma doesn't have the E though. He's just used it to get to the minion to close the gap.
He's waiting for that cooldown. If he gets passive, but he lost grass.
Mirwan's just healing up through the.
No, he lost the grass.
He's dead.
Oh, the Q, the flash.
Oh, he doesn't have flash. That's okay. You guys eat back up. That was close.
Back in response, that took too damn long for SK, but they will at least make it a 1-for-1.
Yeah, that was a lot of time spent. Elyoya was able to clear his Raptors and his Krugs, and he was like, "Are you? Okay, fine. I won't bother. I'll just base 1-for-1." Solo kill picked up and first blood for Meowin. Great stuff.
Dude, I think it's so funny that the creator of the Acolyte put her wife as an actor in the series. Like, definitely not cronyism, guys. Casting my own wife in the show. Wild. Well, how is that okay?
We'll see how Irrelevant does once he gets a few more items under his belt, once he's in a bit of a better
like,
situation.
just cast an actress who's not your wife. Fuck, man.
You're gonna look for the play. Immediate root and lockup. Nice buffer comes in from Luan. Not to get caught out here. Exhaust down. Flash out. Rahel trying to sidestep through, but already ticking, burning. The blaze passive means Elyoya will grab the kill, and MDK off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, really nice gank. Very easy to set up. Luan, very few options of escape. Isma going to try and cross map. He should be able to secure these as the pings come down from SK as to whether or not the dragon is being started. Keeping my eyes on Luan as he may be looking for a roam towards mid. But overall, MDK with a solid start. Admittedly, we've seen MDK with solid starts multiple times throughout this split. Often it's that mid game that falls apart. They're set up around fights, individual misplays, like transitioning from having a good winning position to closing out the game is the failure that we've seen from MDK this split.
Well, on a struggle for many teams, right? Oftentimes when you're in a land of early game and set plays, things that are really easy to practice in scrims, teams are gonna look more clean, but the mid game, the late game, the things that are harder to practice, often where it falls apart. We'll see if this game is going to be different as Elyoya. Bit of CC comes down onto him. Frescowi starting to step up and trade onto Niski, winning this one thus far. Bomb gonna explode, level 7 coming through. Niski forced to rocket jump out. One more auto, one more rocket, but Frescowi doesn't have the range.
Just a bit of back and forth trading, but overall MDK gaining control of the bot River Scuttle Crab. Isma continues to power farm through his jungle. His bot camps are up and they want to make sure they protect him. Keep your eyes on Elyoya. Making his way into the enemy jungle. They know they have the push in mids. They're trying to gain information here. They want to contest this red buff. They see that Niski's very low HP.
Dash in.
Rahel is on the way as well, so SK's feeling confident.
Again, as long as Brand has ultimate up, you really can't afford to stand that close to your ally.
And Isma's ulti this early on is not going to do that much damage. I think you're definitely right that the Brand ulti is probably what you need to be more afraid of. But ultimately, SK just wanted to bully them out of the jungle so that Isma could get the clear. He does have a small camp advantage, small gold advantage, but overall, MDK with the lead for now.
We'll see how these AP junglers play out. I feel like almost every AP jungler in the meta right now functions the exact same, which is they have one cooldown that's really important. If they jump in, die, and get that cooldown off, they've like done their job. Diana, not a Zyra or a Brand, but still, if she's behind, will probably feel very similar, where you leap in, you ult, you die.
Pretty much. Yeah, Zhonya's is really useful on Diana. Fun fact.
Bit of a luxury item, though. We'll see how much money.
I am curious as to what. So I was going to say I'm curious as to what Isma was building. He's already going to start answering that for me. The Hextech Alternator.
Yeah, potentially just a rocket belt to come through first item. Oh, ulti or push back with the E. Now the ulti to come through. Just
Wow. Beer win. What?
Yeah, potentially just a rocket.
He literally took aggro. Oh, no. He just misplayed around the minion wave. He's walking up, guys. He's walking up to trade with W, and Irrelevant just flash E's him under the turret, then ults him and pushes him under the tower. He has no flash.
Okay. Yeah, that's a champ. Like, what was Merwin supposed to do there?
Well, he was winning lane until he wasn't. That much I can tell you.
He got E'd into the wall.
What was he supposed to do? He was supposed to not walk up when there wasn't a minion wave.
I am curious as to what. So I was gonna say I'm curious as to what Isma was building. He's already gonna start.
Like, he literally is in river. Look at this. He's in river and he walks up in front of the wave to harass Skarner with W, Sejuani W, and then he just gets flashed down because he doesn't have flash. Holy shit.
Ulti or push back with the E. Now the ulti to
Wait,
come through just to keep that little piggy.
He literally walks into it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a champ. Like, what was Merwin supposed to do there?
Well, he was
I mean, I would just, I don't know, not walk up there and try and W him.
CC'd him long enough to then get ulted under the wall, and then Irrelevant spammed off while watching him die to the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real question is, do you think Cat Flowers feels like you did when mid lane Nocturne started getting playing and then it got nerfed into the ground because it was too good in pro? Do you think
the difference was
he
that,
regrets that Skarner is now popular?
My champ was never reworked. It was just,
yeah, it was just buffed and
I just had fun, and then the pros ruined it.
But he
KDF plays bro back-to-back on week 5 LCK. Surely things will be okay. Oh, God. Ah, my PTSD. Dude, Kenneth Branagh deserves to hire himself, though. Kenneth Branagh is a great actor and a great director. That's fine. Some people are just actor-directors. Mel Gibson's done that as well. That's different. You know what you're getting into in that case if you're the studio, right? It's like, I hired Kenneth Branagh knowing that he was also going to direct and act this film.
That flash was terrible. Merwin has to be frustrated.
And now he has flash again.
Basically swapped to the dark side.
What is he doing? He keeps, like, walking up to this Skarner.
There's the pushback. Isma now ready.
Gets ulted by Diana, flashes into a wall, and dies. Very good.
That flash was terrible.
Morning Monty, ready to watch the best ADC in the world? Oh, yeah, I love me some Supa. Definitely not delusional guy.
Play on the top side coming in from SK Gaming. 2-0 down for Isma.
Yeah, great news for Isma, because what you want on Diana is to be accelerated and to be in a good spot. Often the way that you do that is just by power farming and looking for opportunities around the map. You're not the best gank setter, or setup, I should say, but follow-up, you're great. And so he's been able to find some opportunities and get ahead. Now they're looking to try and contest this dragon. It's going down a little slowly. I've turned my attention to bot Rahel. Rahel can't quite get to
What's the Kai'Sa Zeri 1v1? I mean, I don't understand how Zeri could possibly live through this game and the dive that SK have onto Zeri. Like, Zeri should never live in these team fights. I also think the brand is a shit pick here, and they should have picked Maokai, so at least they have better disengage.
That is going to be a problem for Frescour to deal with, because here comes Skarner through the wall. Nice backstep. Ooh, Albro not quite able to connect, though. Still wants to keep the play going. Oh, yeah, decent damage. Ulti not going to connect either. Knockback from Niski. Bit of a moment of can't get the shield. Nice.
Oh, is this it?
But Irrelevant, he's going to lose a plate, bit of farm.
Supa is protecting his wards, guys. Okay, he misses the laser. Jumps over the wall. Then Rahel just dodges all his Qs. Yep. Just dodges all his Qs, then flashes away, keeps dodging his Qs. The thing is he flashes here so he can get better, because it's hard to dodge the point blank Qs. So he uses his ult to get over to the other side. And he keeps proccing his passive. Now he starts to get hit by Qs, so I think he's like, fuck it, let's flash. Makes it a lot easier. Nice dodges from Rahel, though. But I mean, Supa doesn't get the slow with the laser over the wall.
He's going to lose a bit of farm, but he does have the TP.
I mean, he starts with a 50% health advantage, but he doesn't have any abilities. And Kai'Sa's just better at autoing, and Rahel does do a good job of dodging the autos. I like the flash there at the end, too, to make it easier to dodge the Qs.
Who's better than Death now? Rahel just straight up outplayed him. I mean, that was just an outplay. Rahel sidestepped absolutely everything.
Behind in items, Supa had barrier up, but of course, Rahel did have the flash. But that said, yeah, clean 1v1.
I mean, my goodness, well played by Rahel.
I'm Spanish, but lucky me, I'm an LCK enjoyer, so I have to suffer watching this team being bad. Yeah, so you just have taste. You're not clouded by brutish nationalism. You can just appreciate great gameplay. Congrats on your esports enlightenment.
Everyone's still frontlining. No one's proc the passive quite yet. Full commit though going in. They just want to burst through. Moonfall going down with the exhaust is there. It's up
Yep.
to the damage. Now he's still able to get
The backline pressure is so crazy. Oh my god, he's not dead. It's amazing I understand why they try and go back in on Elyoya. I mean, Elyoya living here prevents Niski from getting a reset much earlier. Looks like he accidentally autoed the Corki, maybe? It's really hard to tell once he goes in. Yeah, he's autoing Corki, I think. So he doesn't get the reset. You're a T1 fan? Well, oh no, you're really suffering. Reigning world champions, oh no.
Also struggling to follow up on the dive as well. He committed with the W. You could see though he couldn't quite get that last hit on Elyoya to get the reset, create some space for himself. And it's a one team fight for MDK. We look back at this fight, the TP flank comes in. Nice patience from SK, the engage onto the backline. That exhaust was so quick. Locks down the Diana, and you can see Niski.
It's so unlucky that he doesn't die to the Tristana E right there.
Last auto, but now he's overcommitted. He's in an awkward spot. He tries to escape. The rocket connects, and MDK find themselves with the one fight.
Overall, good. Again, the exhaust for Diana.
Nothing like some skull spenders, right, guys?
Similar to the Kennen, right? That's
Nothing says class like skull spenders.
Lichbane start as well, so really going to be about hitting that single target, hoping for more from the ulti. Isma now 2-1. Now Elyoya with a small lead. And again, we talked about the Zyra earlier, right? AP junglers, the Brand. If it just comes down to who can push alt button, Brand is usually going to be happier. Unless it's a 4 or 5 man from Isma, much harder thing to pull off. Now heading to the top side, SK. Hoping to make a bit of a sneaky play. We get a pause. The audience are very excited.
Quick pause from SK, but I think it's going to be almost immediately resolved.
Did you have a reason to think that? Or
yeah, because the players, they paused and then they're already saying ready from both teams.
Oh, okay. You saw ready in game. I was like, are you just out here predicting that?
No,
or are you just saying that full confidence that we're about to... That's all it takes. So here we are, 5-5 the kill score, but it's a 1K gold lead for MDK. The problem, 4 grub buff for SK is a bit concerning. Obviously the pressure when you have a Tristana, if Niski's ever alone on the side lanes as we get later into the game, do a lot of work to take over. MDK moving well.
My instinct is that MDK have a slightly stronger team fight comp. I think this is... Ooh.
Rue waiting for the stun to fall up. Seer, the Blaze following up, instantly getting all the fall of damage from the Brand. Looks good.
Slightly stronger team fight comp. I think this is... Ooh.
Rue waiting for the stun to fall up. Seer, the Blaze following up, instantly getting all the fall of damage from the Brand. Looks good. Niski threatening a bit here, but clean combos there from MDK.
Yeah, just a great punish. They know that Luon doesn't have the flash available. They catch him over, not even overextended, I shouldn't say that. But they just find a nice play. Numbers advantage bot, funneling more plates in for Scowie. And MDK continue to build the leads. Really great stuff from them.
Let's see if they can maintain this advantage.
I have a pause update.
Yeah.
Relevant was pushing one particular key on his keyboard so hard it flew off of his keyboard, and the pause was for someone to go pick it up. Because he's Skarner, I'm guessing it was Q, but that might be old Skarner. Hard to say. Is he a
Wait.
1v1?
I really hope we have like a video of that. I mean, I just want to see a pro player.
I'm just asking you to look. I'm not saying you have to have the video.
But just a key flying off the keyboard, I've never seen that before.
Nor have I. But I'm not a Skarner main. Maybe this is a key mechanic.
Because like think about like Zeri, like you're
spamming Q. Also,
you know what
old
I mean?
Skarner.
It was actually a relevant F4 key as he was trying to press Alt F4 to get himself the fuck out of LEC.
All right, well, I'm excited for that update.
Yeah, he was committed to it. That's much we can say. But again, just a reminder. Overall, 2K gold advantage for MDK. In the last few weeks, this is looking like their best early game. They're pretty clean, they're pretty composed. Yes, they probably want to snowball this advantage even further, but now that they have the Herald and they've grabbed it uncontested, they have the tools to do so. Kraken Slayers on both the 80 carries from the side of SK, but first items completed for everyone across the board outside of Alvaro on the side of MDK. Getting this first tower, and that's 300 extra gold. They're just blow on the tower.
Started off by MDK. SK.
Go in for second Drake. Drake's stacking very slow this game.
Minions won't get close. Nisky determined. Drake getting taken down. MDK pulling back as a unit. Again, clean, controlled, discipline. Not Luan. Now body blocking. So
wise thing of just positioning on the top side of the river, giving them earlier access to the mid wave, allowing them to hit onto the tower. If they can secure this, that would be great.
4 grubs. Luan. Now body blocking.
Mid tier 1, basically a full mid tier 1 here is better to take. I mean, this is 100% of H. It's like 95% of mid tier 1. I think it's probably better to take than a second Drake.
Getting that one from the Skarner, not going to connect. Supa flashing over the wall. Getting away from the Diana ultimate. The punish has to come into the MDK now. They need to keep this fight in their favor. Supa still with the ulti proc. Rahel trying to run. Enough damage coming in right now. Getting that one for free. They're going to immediately collapse onto Elyo. Elyo getting pinned into the wall.
He accidentally gets hit here. Irrelevant's actually going after Supa, and then he gets pulled out.
Now body blocking.
Elyoya actually just gets straight pulled out of the blast cone by Irrelevant. It was accidental.
I just don't think there's enough damage coming in right now. Lockup is there. The ulti from the Skarner not going to connect. Supa flashing over the wall. Getting away from the Diana ultimate. The punish has to come into the MDK now. They need to keep this.
Irrelevant doesn't have ult anymore though. All right, Niski's finally here.
And Frescowi doing a ton of work here, but now Nisky jumping in. 180 carry versus another. Nisky continuing to free hit on the Frescowi. Alvaro continuing to backstep. Blue buff. What SK are playing for. Not even interested in the fight. Ultra shock laser not going to connect. Frescowi tries to follow up. Irrelevant.
All right, Irrelevant has he's fine. A little bit of a whoopsie there.
So that was quite chaotic. A bit of a misplay ultimately from Elyoya as he tries to enter back into mid lane through an area that doesn't belong to him. Luon, great awareness to just engage onto him, knowing that Rahel can follow. They get great damage initially. He's just chained CC'd in the air. And then Alvaro chooses to re-engage, knowing that the collapse is coming through. You look on the minimap, the double TP comes in from mid and top. They're looking to create this pincer, but SK still have a way out. So
Thing is, Niski's there.
Towards the blue buff. Irrelevant flashes over the wall. Nisky now arrives, and with him there, they can take down the front line. It ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of SK. But playing on the very edge of these fights. Again, though, a bit disconnected from MDK. The TPs were very far away.
Well, I think the problem was with the MDK. I mean, they were just never good, right? And no teams had synergy yet, and they were always very dependent. Here's a problem. I actually think this meta is probably pretty bad for MDK because MDK's success came around Elyoya basically being the tip of the spear and them making plays around him in the early game to get them ahead. But if he's just farming in the jungle on an AP champion, it doesn't really enable their strengths. Like MDK's main strength was like Elyoya being good and listening to Elyoya and playing around Elyoya's plays.
We'll get the tower back topside at least 2-2 the tower score.
Yeah, Nisky can just go back and he can go.
That's true. They also played together before. So having that built-in synergy. But honestly, like I think Elyoya not having a very active presence in the early game in this meta probably hurts them quite a bit.
thought they were the ones making a play in mid lane, but it doesn't happen. Quick flash out from Mirwin. MDK get the pick back.
Yeah, MDK overstacking top. Catches Isma off guard.
Again, they have Herald here. MDK, this should be them breaking open mid lane tier 1 tower at least.
They can probably siege it onto the second one as well. They're likely not going to commit too hard.
Arjun, Irrelevant coming over the wall. Looks like they're trying to turn it back.
They don't even actually get this. They're so afraid of Irrelevant. Frescowi not being there, I guess, dissuades them. So they show that level of respect. The mid tower will not go down. They still hold on to the gold lead for now, though. This Corki is incredibly strong. Likely going to have the upgraded rapid fire cannon on base,
which is big. That additional range makes it so much easier.
Oh, Frescovi.
It's like I am Groot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, good.
Right, get on it. All I'm saying, we need a champ to translate for Ramus. We need our own Guardians of the Galaxy.
TB in behind. TB under the mid lane turret. So Mirwin just takes a bunch of free damage. There's no Leona ult, so this is a great trigger. Luan on the flank, like great engage here from SK. Yep.
MDK immediately retreat. Relevant going through the wall, hoping to find an angle.
There's the super blast cone. Soup is trying to, like, the super blast cone's huge here. This is huge. This is huge. The fact that it's Chemtech Rift allows him to, like, make this play. That's actually a Chemtech Rift specific play that Relevant's able to make. Very nicely done. It says free Baron now.
And they can't react to the TP flank, and that happens. SK with a beautiful collapse, catches MDK completely unaware. A really nice 5v5 fight where they keep all 5 members alive, and now they're going to get the Baron.
7K getting lower, Alvaro poking his head in, but there's really no opportunity. Super sprinting mid lane to try to get the mid lane tower back. He will be able to do so. Hoping to find some Raptors too, but alas, they are already gone. And again, the start here is just...
Is this the SK team Crepa build? Yep.
Really even starts.
The TP idea is good from Mirwin. He tries to react, but look, there's no engage. They're kind of on two sides as to what they want to do.
Yeah, his bot lane has been surprisingly good, right?
This blast plan. Super even tries to proc it beforehand, but he doesn't quite have the range. Plan.
I don't think Soup is trying to proc it. I think he's trying to get the... Because... Oh, he does try to proc it right there. I think he's trying to get the honey fruit, because remember, on Chemtech, it doesn't slow you.
Super even tries to proc it beforehand, but he doesn't quite have the range. Oh, and then just look at the combo. Absolutely clinging from SK.
And for SK, right, when you're the one who starts the fight, when you've already got the advantage, you can just keep stepping up. The pressure is on MDK to find the perfect moment to flash, land your brand combo. And if they wait too long, if they hesitate, that window, that brief window, just disappears completely. And now, SK, they had the 4 grub buff earlier. MDK have been stacking Drake.
I think this edge flex stop would have been brilliant if they picked Zyra and Maokai. I think Maokai was the play here, 100%. This brand is just a turd. Like, they actually need the disengage. They need the Maokai ult. Man, I miss Sad Swiffer. What the fuck? Why do I get happy Swiffer? This isn't what I signed up for. I miss his agony as they throw in the mid game every game.
They hesitate, that window, that brief window, just disappears completely. And now, SK, they had the 4 grub buff earlier. MDK have been stacking Drakes this entire game, but I don't think they're going to get a chance on the 4th one because SK have the Baron, have the grub buff, going to start knocking these towers down and only further extending their goal.
I mean, who cares about Chemtech Soul?
The thing that we talked about with SK at the start was, can they maintain their form? They've had good weeks.
Better to get the gold out of tier 2 side lanes.
To their credit, they've only gotten better.
How the fuck is SK at 5-1? They're actually pretty good. What are we complaining about? SK's played well this game, guys. Outside of Irrelevant dying early, but he came back and got a couple good kills himself, so...
Finding good fights, finding smart picks, and this is another demonstration where they just blew the game wide open from a single TP flank, and it's caught everybody off guard.
Certainly. The instant welcoming of this bottom lane, how decision has paid off. One in the mid lane wave. Doesn't want to step too far forward until he sees the rest of MDK on the map. Luan potentially there to cover.
Siege is patient and well executed so far from SK. They probably want another wave in mids. They're a bit disconnected in terms of their waves right now, but the cannon minion doing some serious work on the bot tower. Irrelevant just throwing those rocks at his opposition. Rahel doing a good thing of escorting that wave in. Isma moving over to cover. MDK now have one too many members on the bot side of the map, exposing the inhibitor.
Mirwan now has to backstab, flash forward from Izza, immediately going to ult to bring him back. Mirwan getting cut down, will eventually fall. Rahel cleaning that one up, and again, MDK not quite.
Hey, man, I used to watch you commentate LCK with Doa back in the day. Well, you should go to Last Free Nation Culture on YouTube and watch Doa and my shows, Nerd Legion, that we still do. Do you miss Korea? I'm in Korea right now. Do I miss dealing with Uncle Riot? No.
Another steps up to take their place. SK see weakness, see an opportunity, and instantly capitalize on it.
I mean, the bot lane is just duoing out, I should say, MDK's backline. Really nice initiation, great confidence from Rahel. Doesn't even burn the flash in that skirmish. And Luon loses his life, but the trade-off is worth it. 6-0-3 for the Kaiser in this game. 40 going down, but it's SK that punishes.
80 carry, even one.
This game is super over now. Even if they somehow miraculously get Soul, it's not going to be enough to win.
As this rel, so quick to get to that 5 plasma stack.
Monty, is it true you're going to be an official cast of the LCS and cast with Captain Flowers? Oh boy, that's my dream, guys.
This isn't the poke build, this isn't the AP build, full on focus on the on hit here, so if Rahel gets to just auto attack 4 or 5 times, there is nobody on the side of MDK who's going to survive that except for Mirwan.
Seen him. This is one strong Kaiser. On top of the fact that you still have Irrelevant, you have to.
Yes, of course, it's a good idea for the game to tell you what Soul it's going to be. Of course it is. It's always been a good idea.
No, Irrelevant doesn't even have that much armor, but he just has so much health.
Yeah, guys, now's the time to be an LCS caster. The career growth is fucking insane in the LCS right now. You get to join a league in a death spiral that I've been told is doing very well, but needs to merge to become America's for reasons.
Look, Scar.
Why would it need to merge with another league if it was doing so well? That's weird. Now's the time to do it, guys.
That's my thought.
League of Legends in America is more popular than it's ever been.
Here we go.
Riot set up very discrete paths for casters to career success. For example, if you cast an LCS, you can take that experience and then you can use it to become a mouthpiece commissioner with no real power and no decision-making abilities. You can do that, guys. Look at the career growth opportunities.
Yeah. Look, man, Pokemon's done us a lot of favors over the years. I understand the elements of the world much more clearly. Who knew? Fairies beat dragons. Not I.
Who did know?
Not me. But it makes sense when you really think about it.
Yeah, when you really think about it.
Of course, if you really, the logic.
You have to really think about it.
You have to really think about it.
But it's there.
You've convinced me. Where do I sign up?
Just waiting for the Baron. They know that that's all they really need to close out
Yeah,
the game.
and if you take that mouthpiece role, guys, the people who are feeding you those words are the same morons who caused the decline of North American League of Legends. So you're just apologizing for their previous mistakes. It's a great job.
The pressure is on.
Very good job.
Losing here puts them at 1-6, and while it doesn't eliminate them from playoff contention, they'll only have the final week of the regular season, 2 games to turn their split around.
It starts to feel like your destiny's out of your hands, right? All it takes is enough teams to find 3 wins for you to fall up short.
No thanks. I think I'll just work on my own. I think I'll just work on my own company that continues to acquire more and more sponsors and does 1 million, 1.5 million podcast downloads a month and growing. Maybe I'll do that instead. But I could just be Riot's bitch instead. I don't know. I don't know, guys.
Just to poke SK. TP to the bottom lane. I think they want to end it here. They're not even going to wait for resets. Just trying to keep the pressure up.
I mean, there's no need, right? You have the Baron. You know how much stronger you are.
Would I rather run and own a successful growing company or cast with no room for negotiation on a dying league?
I don't think one does that much damage, but we'll have to see. Relevant just stepping up to frontline. Rahel pushing the waves in. MDK getting zoned off the bot side tower by most of SK, just putting so much pressure on. Niski taking his time, pushing into the wall. Isma ready to follow up with the combo. MDK hoping to punish, but Relevant is so damn tanky. Multiple members locked up. The Seeker Strong Guard gets Elio.
The engage is just too strong with this composition from SK. Like, the brand is actually useless. I mean, look at the amount of CC you can get. Isma just comes in, or Luon comes in. They have so much crowd control. It's just free access onto the back line. I know Niski was there. They win this for free 100%. Just honest needs a fucking nerf, man.
trouble. 3 stacks 4. Permafrost not going to come down. Niski leaps in and gets the double. Mirwan just doesn't have the range or the angle. And SK say, hey, we'll just take the base. They can't afford to take the fight anymore. Elyoya wants to defend, but they're just dancing on him, weaving around them. Finally, Niski will drop. MDK trying to hold, but he's just empowering the minions. As long as this one doesn't die, the base will. Oh, that has to be infuriating. SK.
You know, it just dances around the outside, giving the Baron buff to the minions.
Shut down by the Winions as SK
SK played that pretty well, I think.
to 6-1.
All right, guys, that's gonna be it for today. Tomorrow might be another raccoon feast. I'll be back. Streaming tomorrow, guys. It'll probably be more. Maybe we'll do some LPL because I hate viewership. I hate it when you guys watch my stream, so I might do some LPL. And we've got Power Spike tomorrow. Summoning Inside on Wednesday. We did Monty and Wolf today, so follow the stream. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you later.